I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain. I'm a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
I'm a link in the chain.
It's playoff time at Highlanders Stadium as the Highland Park Scots take the first step in what they hope becomes an unprecedented fourth straight state championship. It's win in advance or lose and go home. This is the Highland Park Scots and the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines, presented by Game On.
It's intercepted! They are going to complete the three-peat.
That trophy is not leaving. It is staying at Highlander Stadium for the third consecutive year.
Welcome to round one of the Texas High School Football Playoffs at Highlander Stadium. I'm Will Washington, joined by David Clark and shortly by Emily Stone on the sideline. Miles is recovering from a surgery today, but he's a trooper. He's out there ready to join us on the sideline tonight, so I'm filling in. And Coach, it is time for the high school football playoffs to finally begin.
Yeah, it really is, and it's an exciting time. It's the second season. It's the one you play for right here. And I think we're going to hear the national anthem here start this thing off. Welcome back to Highlander Stadium, Coach, as the 9-1 Highland Park Scots are set to start their playoff run here at home against the 5-5 Frisco Wakeland Wolverines. It's finally playoff time, Coach, and last week we got to see an impressive win by the Highland Park Scots against Mansfield Timberview. It was a physical game featuring great athletes on both sides of the ball. The Scots pulled away in the second half. What stood out to you from last week's game? It was a physical game, Will, and I think that really showed. I thought the Highland Park Scots played great, especially on defense. You take away a couple of big plays where the Scots gave up a pick six and a kickoff return, and that score is even a little bit deceiving in the way it ended up. The Scots played great. They took the Timberwolves right out of their game plan and were able to stuff the run and force them to do something they didn't like to do, and that was throw the ball. The Scott offense was really clicking. Again, just a couple of hiccups with really their own responsibility more than anything else. But, you know, I can tell it's playoff time when I look out there and I see the Scots in their new uniforms for the fourth straight year. They're wearing uniforms that they get brand new ones for the playoffs. And, man, they're ready. And they look sharp. They got a little extra striping on the shoulders, which they haven't had before. So they look sharp and they look ready to go.
As we get set to kick off here, you can feel a little extra electricity in the crowd tonight as the Scots get set to take on the 5-5 Frisco Wakeland Wolverines, 5-1 on the road this season. So, Coach, as we get a short kickoff to start with a fair catch What do the Scots need to do to win this round one game?
Well, that's a great start right there. Just do a nice little Wesley Winters back in there doing the kicking chores, the kickoff duties, and he does a great job of putting the ball up in the air. And, you know, you kick it out of the end zone, they get on the 25-yard line. You pooch one to the 26. That's pretty doggone good with no threat of a return. So it's a great start. I think the Scots need to come out and establish themselves right in the very first quarter. They need to make sure Wakeland has no chance, no thoughts of trying to win the game and beat the Scots on their home turf.
This will be the first play of the game for the Wakeland offense. We get a handoff outright. Gets a pretty good gain on first down.
Yeah, that's Burkhardt. He's a pretty good back. He's done a rush for 682 yards. 825 yards with a 6.82 attempt. So he really does a good job pressing the edge that time on a little stretch play.
Bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Wakeland offense. Dylan Label in at quarterback tonight. He came in at mid-season. He's had a pretty good season since he's been in leading this team. Label will hand it off again. No, he will do a little play action. That's going to be caught. He had me fooled. That'll get Wakeland the first down to start the game.
Yeah, a little RPO right there, and that's a nice little twist to it right there. And they if they get that kind of action going, they can be tough. They have an outstanding offense. Will they can move the football. Their problems have been on defense and stopping opponents. So they can press the field. So pressure really on the Scots defense to make some 3 and outs and get some turnovers in this one.
It's like Highland Park has just been issued a sideline warning. Coach Melton might have been getting a little excited there on the field.
Probably so. He's got his crossing guard shirt all over his warm-up jacket there, so he's hard to miss over there on the sideline. So.
He brings this intensity to the Scots defense. His players love playing for him as Wakeland has a first down. Label will give it to the fullback here for a few yards, showing some diversity on offense early as a bunch of Scots help make the tackle. We're going to send it down to Emily Stone for the first time on the sideline.
Hey guys, so tonight, round one of the playoffs, we are looking at a Wakeland offense that's averaging 36 points per game, so could be another high-scoring game tonight for Highland Park, but it'll still be an exciting first round of the playoffs.
Thank you, Emily. As Wakeland gets ready for a 2nd and 7 out of the shotgun again, using the H-back that we've become accustomed to here at Highland Park this season.
Similar stuff. They check with me and see how the Scots line up. They're checking the play. And they'll line up. They'll look just like the Scott offense. A little more tight end stuff. You can see that tight end with that H-back. A little more blocking on the edge.
As the play clock gets down to 0, let's see if they got a timeout off or if that's going to be a penalty. And they did, in fact, call a timeout. So early on, we're seeing some diversity from this Wakeland offense. They get a first down there. They're at a 2nd and 7. So what's standing out to you so far?
Well, the fact that last week we played 2 minutes and there was 14 points scored, and today we played 2 minutes and no one scored, so that's a little bit unusual. I'll tell you a little bit about the quarterback, Dylan Leibel. He's we don't have weights and sizes in our roster here, but the coaches were saying he's a big kid. He's about 6'5", 6'6", and probably pushing 185, and he's a big, strong thrower. He's more of a pocket guy. He'll do a little RPOs and read the defense, but he's not really necessarily a threat to run like we've seen in some of the past quarterbacks last couple of weeks. So it'll be important for the Scots to really control the running game and then force them to be one-dimensional, and the Scots defense can stop that for sure.
Scots defensive line been so important this season right now. Prince Dorba, Andrew Washburn, Houston Hummel anchoring that defensive line. Another RPO. It's complete, but it is hit immediately by, it looks like, Ford Frazier with a great read on that tackle.
Yeah, with those with that tight end and the H-back, you're going to see the Scots are going to be one-on-one a lot on the edge this week. It looks like, and Ford comes up and makes a nice stop on the play. 2 juniors in the secondary. You got, you got several of them. You got Ford and you got Tanner Schrank on the other side, and Walker Cobb there at safety too. So quite a young group, but they have definitely grown up here this season.
Bible gets set to throw again. It is incomplete in between a few Scots defenders. See Tanner Schrank there in helping out with the play.
Yeah, you can see he had good protection that time, and he's got a strong arm. Leibel can really wind up and throw that ball hard, and just missed a little wide on that target. So looks like they're going to line up and at least act like they're going to go for it, and we'll see if they end up backing up and punting. The quarterback is in the game, and he can punt it.
Big for the Scots to get a 4th down. We'll see if they go for it. Or if they do kick it, he will look to the sideline again.
Yeah, Scots do this a lot too. You've seen Chandler back up a little bit and do the little quick kick. Keeps that return man from getting back there. But you still got to respect it. They're going to draw a penalty off of it. You know, I love that when teams do that, because, you know, you're 95% sure they're going to punt the ball, but it's that 5% that keeps you scratching your head, and they could raise up and make a throw, especially if they got a wide out that's uncovered, or if you miss a line somehow where they think they can line something up. Now they're going to go with the conventional punting formation here, as the Scots got 2 returners back. I wouldn't be surprised if playoff time you'll see a handoff now coming out of these guys. If they get something high in the air, that they'll come together and cross and either handoff or fake handoff.
The Scots return the punt. Immediately brought down. And coach, in the playoffs in the past few years, the Scots special teams have been such an important part of their past 3 championships. Of course, they want to win a 4th one. Special teams are going to play another role in all phases, in really all aspects, returns, kicking off. And the Scots really value that, especially this time of year. Yeah, we've talked about it all year. Those are starters. Those guys that play on special teams. They're starters, and they're well respected, and they're the ones that they're counting on to really do their job, and it's important. Chandler Morris in tonight at quarterback for his first play of the game. Gets a quick toss to Hunter Heath. Hunter Heath with a nice gain on 1st down, and he had an incredible game last week. Obviously one of the players of the week, and we're going to go ahead and send it down to Miles Dunklin for the first time on the sideline.
Well, hey guys, thanks. And it's first of all, it's a lot of fun to be down here on the sideline. I'm missing being up there in the booth with y'all. But what I can tell you from down here is that these guys are locked in. They know the task at hand. They had a great week of prep, and they are ready to go. The hay's in the barn. Now it's just time to play the game.
Thanks, Miles. We're glad you're here tonight as Chandler Morris. Looks like we've got a complete pass to Paxton Anderson. Good to see him get a reception tonight. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Scots.
Yeah, that's good. Little ball control right here to start off. Again, keeps your defense off the field. Nice job of Paxton using his body. Scots win 5 wide that time. The newly available free agent quarterback, Chandler Morris, now trying to put on a show for the playoffs.
Morris will take it to the H-back formation. He'll hand it off to Hunter Heath, who makes a man miss. Gets a few there. Hunter Heath, a very versatile player. We know he has speed. He's got great agility, but he's more physical than one would think.
Yeah, he really is. He showed that on his blocking just as much as his running through people just like that. So, you know, one more thing on Morris. Didn't take him long to get a quality offer, did it? USC, University of Southern California, extended an offer to Chandler Morris. So he won't be on the market for very long.
The 2nd and 5 as Chandler will fake it. He'll throw it right out to Ben Smith.
Man, if Ben had kept his feet, he might have scored on that. Just slipped up a little bit. Another great job getting that 1st down, and Scott's controlling the line of scrimmage for sure.
Ben Smith leads the team this season in receptions and yards. He has 42 receptions, 734 yards, adding to both of those on that play. Chandler Morris gets set to take it again. The Scots have 3 out wide to the right. We'll have another play action. He drops back, moves around the pocket. He bounces left. It's Ben Smith again. Great work by Chandler Morris and Ben Smith connecting 2 times in a row.
You know, Ben's been kind of quiet the last couple of games, and I was thinking about that on the way up here tonight that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Ben has a tremendous game. Another big 1st down. The Scots really controlling line of scrimmage. Little chunks this time instead of their usual big chunks.
1st down for the Scots. 3 receivers out wide again. Morris on the option. He will keep it. Gets the 1st down and more as a flag is down. Great read, though, by Morris. Looks like this one's going to come back.
Yeah, it just might. Again, the Scots have done really a great job on the option all year long, and it just makes sense to let Chandler run that a few times here in the playoffs. And unfortunately, it's going to come back. But another great job. Look at that patient run. He's going to wait until it kind of sees an opening and then breaks another tackle. We've already seen several running backs. We've seen Hunter Heath, and now Chandler break some tackles on some nice runs here.
As we see that holding call, we're going to send it down to Emily again, who's down on the field and saw something on that play.
Hey guys, so yes, we're talking about Chandler, who did just receive an offer from the University of Southern California, and he has got an impressive resume going into his new recruiting. He has thrown for over 2,800 yards this season, 33 touchdowns, and after that play, we all know that he's going to be ready to get even more.
Thank you, Emily. We have a 1st and 17 now. Morris drops back on this one. Evades one tackler. He has Drew Scott, but just can't quite bring it in.
Yeah, just a little high for Drew right there. Again, Chandler improvising, using those legs to extend the play a little bit. We've seen him do that all last year, and for 10 games this year. He does a super job feeling the pressure and just a little whisker away from having a big play to Drew.
Drew Scott had a huge game last week, 4 receptions, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown. He was a player of the week, and he looked really good. They tried to put some strong man-to-man coverage on him, and a Georgia commit was even on him a lot, and he just had no problem with it.
No, he really did a good job in stepping up and making some plays for the Scots.
Morris has time. He evades the tackler, but he is going to be brought down this time. That will be a sack. Scots haven't given up a lot of sacks this season at all. That's going to bring it back even further.
Yeah, that's a big play. John Marshall with the sack, number 41 for the Wolverines. And again, Chandler had some time. It's just good job. Credit the Wolverines secondary for a great job in coverage. And they're kind of using, I kind of figured this would happen. They're using the Lone Star method of defense. They're going to try to rush 3 and have a spy on Chandler, and then they're going to try to drop 7 and try to cover. And so the Scots have got to be patient, like you've seen on the 1st and 2nd down. They just got behind the sticks with that holding penalty.
Gonna have to dig deep in the playbook here on this long 3rd down, but we're going to start with a penalty. It's going to be a false start for the Scots offense. Penalties are hurting them on this drive.
Boy, they started off just getting a couple 1st downs in a row, and then looked like Chandler had another one on running the option, and then that one comes back, and now it's just shooting yourself in the foot the whole time. So, again, it looks like a long way. What's it say, 28, 3rd and 28, and the Scots really got a chance. They're running that H-back stuff here, so just trying to max protect a little bit.
Luke Cameron checks in at the H-back position. Morris will have a play action. He's going to throw deep, but may have been a miscommunication there. That's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Scots offense.
Yeah, and it looks like Jake Marshall, that's his job. He's going to spy Chandler Morris today, and the Scots are going to have to punt it away. So that's a unfortunate end to a very promising starting drive for the Scots. And credit the Wolverines. They took advantage of that holding penalty and forced the Scots into a punting situation after a 1st down on the 35-yard line, the plus 35.
Saw some pressure there from the Wolverines. Morris was having to run around a little bit. We were told pregame by one of the Scots coaches that number 1, the left end for Wakeland, Louis Sabatino, he has a high motor. So they've got some guys on the defensive line. They can get some pressure on the quarterback as a bunch of Scots make a tackle as they're going to send their defense out here for the 2nd time tonight. It was successful the 1st time against this difficult Wakeland offense to deal with, so we'll see if they can get another stop and get the Scots offense back on the field.
Well, I'll tell you, that was very telling, I thought, on the strategy that the Wolverines are going to use against the Scots. And again, it's the book that basically Lone Star wrote week 3 of the season, and you're going to try to rush and put pressure on Chandler with 3 and have a spy and try to cover. So Scots have got to figure out a way to overcome that.
1st down for the Wakeland offense. We'll get a handoff. Bounces it outside. A few Scots in to help with the tackle. And, Coach, one of the things you see when you watch the Scots defense, they do a really good job defending outside runs.
They really do. They got a lot of speed. They really focus on that. Keeping the edge is one of the things Coach Melton teaches and coaches. And, of course, Chase Davis, outside linebacker coach, just harps on that to make sure that those guys don't ever get beat to the outside. You cannot lose your edge and play good quality defense.
2nd and 7 for the Wolverines. Label says something to his running back. It's like he will hand it off again. And a bunch of Scots there.
Still moving forward, Will.
Got some toughness there from the running back.
Yes.
Saw John Beetrell getting there, and he had a lot of help.
Yeah, they're really trying to pound the ball. You can tell, line up with an H-back and a tight end. Got kind of an extra blocker in there, and Burkhart's a good hard runner. I mean, he's we mentioned earlier, he's rushed for 825 yards this year, so this should not come as a surprise. And again, they're running the clock when they can shorten the game by making first downs by running the ball. So we'll see if we see a little RPO right here and watch these tight ends and H-backs in a 3rd and short.
Label will hand it off again outside. Burkhart has a very nice gain, successful on that outside run this time against the Scots, and the Wakeland offense is moving.
Yeah, we had heard they have a good offense, and we're seeing it right now. Very balanced right now. Actually doing more damage on the ground than they are in the air. They've already picked up that was their 2nd first down, and they're really pounding the ball on the ground.
Burkhart, a very good runner. We're seeing that early, and like you said, the Wakeland offense running the clock, running the ball. You kind of see their game plan, at least early on. Label gets ready for this first down play. This time he will throw it quickly, and it is complete. And he stays on his feet and gets a pretty nice gain there. That's going to be Peyton Lewis for Wakeland. This time they throw a pass and get some yards on it.
Yeah, a little play action. When you can run the ball, the play action really works. And the Scots have got to respect the run now. And so a little play action pass works. And now it's a very manageable 2nd and medium. And again, everything's really going the way the Wolverines want it right now. They're being able to run the ball. Now they got a little overset here with the tight end and the H-back and the 2 wides on the same side.
Label will hand it again to Burkhart. Burkhart gets pushed. He is a fighter. He's going to be close to that first down. We'll see if he got it. And he says that he
really
does.
Close. Yeah, I thought that was a good spot. Nice spot for the Wolverines' sake. On the one on the far side really didn't look like he's giving it to him. But again, kind of an overset that time where they put the tight end, the H-back, and the 2 wides on the same side. And now they're back a little more balanced, tight end away from the H-back. So, again, they're able to run the ball. That's going to really help them. There's a student body right.
And this time the Scots don't let Burkhart get anywhere. Great pursuit on that play. As you see some Scots defensive linemen even get in on it.
Yeah, a lot of pullers. Watch this. The center's actually pulling, the H-back's pulling, and they've got they've got everybody out in front of that one. And again, the Scots read that well and were able to get the edge. It's going to be tough to run the edge. I think they're going to have to cut something inside the tackles to be able to control Prince and some of these big athletic defensive linemen.
See Andrew Bonnet and Cal Hershey, senior linebackers, getting in on that tackle, pursuing together. This is a great Scots linebacker crew. We have a 2nd and 12 for the Wolverines. A draw play to Burkhart. He gets hit hard and gets driven back by the Scots defense. They're showing up on these 2 plays now.
Yeah, that was good. They kind of woke up right now, and they realize they're in a ball game, and the Wolverines were taking it to them. Watch a little delay here. Great job by Andrew Washburn to read that and slide over from his gap. He was actually on the, looked like the backside A gap, and just slid over to his left and made a nice play. So 3rd and long, this is where you want to put any of your opponents right now. And now that you can, you still have to respect play action, but it's not necessarily going to be something you're going to worry too much about. You're going to rally and make the tackle if they do that.
Label will drop back this time. He throws it quickly as a man open, and he will get the first down and more. Once again, that is Peyton Lewis. He was wide open, and Label found him, and on a 3rd and long, he converts the first down. And Wakeland doesn't want to get in 3rd and longs. That's where the Scots really can maximize their pressure and their coverage, but this time it didn't matter.
No, it didn't, and a nice pressure up the middle, too, by the Scots, and Label was able to get the ball off. And, again, a big first down. Then this first quarter is flying through, and it's really, for the most part, been all Wolverines.
Very different than last week. We have about 1:43 left in the first quarter. Label will just throw it away. Didn't see a man open.
Yeah, trying to throw a little screen back to the left, run motion right, and try to fool the Scots. There were more Scott defenders over there than there were blockers, so that one was not going to happen. And Label did a good job of just throwing the ball away.
Scots read that very well, which is difficult to do because this Wakeland offense has been showing some diversity in their play calls. They throw a screen, but you see the discipline of the Scots defense. We'll have a 2nd and 10. The Scots will see if they can force another longer 3rd down on this play. Noble will
nice
throw
play.
up. Dangerous throw. You have 2 Scots there. Looks like Tanner Schrank was on tight coverage. That will bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I think Andrew Bonnet from his OB position got a hand on that one, knocked it. Great drop by Andrew Bonnet. Watching number 23 drop right into the eyesight there, get a little hand on it, and Schrank was right there behind, and Bonnet right there in front. So good coverage there by the Scots. Again, another 3rd and long. They were able to convert the last time they looked at one of these. The Scots need to stand up.
They were on Peyton Lewis that time. They were not going to let him get the gain. We have a 3rd and 10. He will hand it off. In a pretty good game, but that's still going to bring up a 4th down. The Scots have forced a 4th down on this longer drive, so we'll see what Wakeland does here in Scots territory.
It looks like they're going to try to take 3 right now, get on the board. They've got a quality kicker in Tanner Cragen, and he's going to Utah, is what Emily Stone's insight gave us. So
he's a great kicker. We were seeing him in warm-ups get some long kicks.
He had some range, didn't he?
This is a quality kicker. We'll see if they can get 3 on the board. A long kick.
Oh, that's nice.
And he's going to get it.
He got that by 10 yards from where he was.
Showing why he was recruited by Utah. He's having a very good season. That'll put up Wakeland 3-0 against this Scots team in round 1 of the playoffs. We're going to send it down to Miles Dunklin on the sideline for the 2nd time as he has something for us.
Hey guys, obviously Wakeland happy right now, up 3-0, but the game definitely going their way. A little bit more of a methodical approach. And if you were to ask Marty Secord, a longtime veteran of the coaching ranks, has taken his team to the playoff many times over there with Frisco Wakeland. The fact that Highland Park's only touched the ball 1 time and we're at the end of the first quarter is definitely a good sign for the Wolverines, but plenty of time and plenty of optimism. The Scots just keeping that same approach down here on the sideline.
Thank you, Miles. Miles is down there on crutches, so he is fighting through his own injury for the broadcast, so I'm impressed by his toughness tonight.
Man, setting an example of how to go tough at playoff time. There's no doubt about it. Miles Dunklin leading the way.
I love to see that from Miles, and we'll see if the team can be inspired by that as the Scots will get the ball again and see if they get a little longer drive. Kickoff will bounce into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback for the Scots offense. So, Coach, first time around, Scots offense wasn't able to get into the end zone. They've had a lot of success starting strong. Wasn't able to do it tonight. So we'll see if they can make an adjustment on the 2nd drive of the game.
No, really, it's kind of a pattern we've seen the last couple of weeks where the Scots have started committing some penalties and really put themselves behind the sticks. They started off with 2 quick first downs and really looked methodical, driving the ball themselves, and then all of a sudden a nice gain by Morris on the option, and all of a sudden it comes back and with a holding penalty. So the Scots need to get back going here and get things going. There's a good way to do it.
And there's Hunter Heath. He is making people miss. He's showing that speed, a huge gain, a big play on first down for Hunter Heath. That's a good way to move the ball down the field.
Yeah, that's a great deal right there to give him the ball and let him kind of turn this game around in a hurry.
We're going to send it down to Emily real quick on the sideline.
Hey, guys, not sure if you saw the extracurriculars that went all the way back to the goal line that time between Sam Morse and a Frisco Wakeland player, but both guys got up and ran back to the huddle. No fighting, no punches thrown, anything like that, and the officials kept the flag in the pocket. So a contrast to what we saw last night, and good sportsmanship from both guys, even though they definitely played through the whistle on that one.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I saw that down at the goal line. I didn't really see what was going on, but both teams playing hard. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you come in 5-5 as the Wolverines do, you don't have anything to lose. You just put, everything out there, and you push, and you're playing the 3-time state champion. So, these are lifetime memories, if nothing else, for them. So this is a great opportunity for them. They're playing kind of carefree right now. There's no pressure on them at all. I mean, no one in this building expects them to win. So it's just these guys that are going to play their hearts out and see what happens.
Scott's offense with another penalty as Morris drops back on a 1st and 15. He will scramble, has a really nice game. He's going to get the first down. Chandler Morris showing his scrambling ability. 2 big plays for the Scots on this drive as the quarterback takes matters into his own hands.
Yeah, he really did a good job here. Watch him. He's going through his whole progression. I mean, just like a veteran quarterback would do. The hole opens up there. He gets away from his little partner spy there, Marshall, and is able to make a nice gain. And he and Jack Marshall are going to be good buddies when this game's all over with, because everywhere number 4 goes, number 41 follows. So, again, a big gain. And the Scots needed that play. They snubbed their toe again with another penalty and got behind the sticks. And Chandler gets a nice gain here to end the quarter.
That will end the quarter with the Scots down 3-0. They'll pick it back up right after this.
Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know. I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
Welcome back to Highlander Stadium. Will Washington with David Clark in the booth. Scots down 3-0 as we get set to start this second quarter. First down for the Scots offense. Hunter Heath will take it, bounces it outside, makes a man miss. Can he get into the end zone? Looks like he does. That's a touchdown for the Scots. Emily's down on the sideline and saw it up close.
Hey guys, so watching Hunter play this past few weeks, he's been really igniting the backfield, and it's been really awesome to see these dual sport athletes come out and showcase their other talents from sports like track, lacrosse, baseball. So watching him really light up the backfield and scoring the first touchdown for the Scots in the playoffs, that's awesome.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah, I tell you what, you got to give a little assist to Drew Scott on that one. Again, when guys break the line of scrimmage and make first downs, usually it's the line up front. But when they score touchdowns, it's that downfield blocking, the secondary that does it. And a dangerous miss extra point that time as the ball went wide to the left. And Scots may you got to be careful of those on playoff games.
A rare miss. Scots now up 6-3, and Hunter Heath picking up right where he left off last week. But Coach, you brought it up. One of the things you saw in that play was the blocking from the wide receivers, and we know that in this program they have a history of really teaching and valuing blocking in the receiving game, because that can take a good play and turn it into a big play. And that's a lot of times what you see with this offense, is that when the receivers block, that sets up these huge runs and these huge plays.
Yeah, it really does. And you got to give these wideouts and really the coaches credit, because they do work on that. That's one of the things, you have a period where you're working on blocking using your hands and making things happen, and they teach them, you're going to be the reason that we score a touchdown. If you do your job, you get that block at the next level, then you can free this guy up to go score. And we saw Paxton Anderson do it last week. We've seen Drew do it a couple of different times last couple of weeks. So it is something that they harp on, and it's nice to see it show up in games.
You do have to love that. And one of the things I remember seeing last week is Will Pettijohn downfield had a chance for a block, and it kind of got a weird angle, and it could have been a block in the back, and he had the discipline to back up. So these Scots receivers are very disciplined in the run game and in blocking downfield.
Yeah, sometimes the block you don't try is the best one, because those penalties just kill drives. We saw that in the first drive. So the Scots had a nice answer there for that field goal, and they quickly responded with a touchdown of their own. And it's nice to see Hunter picking up right where he's left off the last couple of weeks.
So a successful drive for the Scots offense, and the defense will come back out up 6-3 as label in this Wakeland offense, see if they can move the ball down the field and continue their game plan of taking time off the clock. So we get a run again from Burkhardt, who's having a really good game so far.
Yeah, he's running hard. He's very impressive. And again, he kind of ran right into Maxwell Warren that time, and that was a pretty good collision. But good job by the Scots. I mean, they gotta get them into a one-dimensional system, and if they can stuff the run a little bit, then the Scott secondary will take over on the passing game.
It's a 2nd and 6 for Wakeland. 11:20 left in the first half. Label will let that clock tick down a little bit. You see their game plan, trying to run the clock and have long drives. As Burkhart will take it again. Physical run, but many Scots there, not going to let it get very far.
That was a good job up front that time, and again, the Scots are starting to figure out they're pulling a lot of guys to the point of attack. You can see that they're pulling the backside and they're coming across. The lead blockers always on the point of attack, and the Scots again, they've got to read this a little bit quicker and make sure they're filling the gap. And again, you got to watch for their RPOs too off of that kind of stuff. So a lot of things. This is a good offense. There's no doubt that this is a good offense. So,
Coach, talk about that for a minute. I mean, these RPOs, I remember we talked last week, they've been going on for a long time in Texas high school football. But
yeah, I laugh when I hear it on Saturdays and Sundays talking about RPOs as being some new thing. And, man, we've been seeing them for a long time, and it's just something that we've always kind of gotten used to here in Texas. And, if you don't have a Texas quarterback, you need to get one. And that's a message out to all the colleges out there. If you don't have one, you need to get one, because they know how to do it, and they know how to move teams, and they know how to throw the ball. And that time Label was a little bit high on his throw. And again, the Scots got him in that situation where they felt like they needed to pass. And the Scott coverage was there. And again, now a punting situation. Scott offense got a lot of confidence from their last possession. They're going to be ready to go.
That's exactly what the Scots wanted to do. Put him in that kind of third down situation and force him to throw, as it's a high punt. And we will get a fair catch by the Scots. It's number 5, Case Savage. Good returner as well. And that'll bring the Scots offense. So we'll see if they can get in a rhythm and get some points on the board.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Will. I mean, getting in a rhythm and getting things going. Not only the Scott offense getting in rhythm, but, this is when Coach Allen needs to get in a rhythm. And like Miles said a minute ago, the Scott offense just hadn't had a lot of possessions. And so, this is something that Coach Allen will get better and better at as the rhythm of the set goes on. So he'll be ready to go here. He's kind of getting a better feel for him.
So Morris back on the field to lead these Scots. Scots in a 2-by-2. They're going to hand it off to Hunter Heath, trying to make people miss. It's going to be a loss, but you can't blame him for handing it off to Hunter Heath on first down.
No, that's usually a good decision to take care of that. I mean, he's been pretty hard to beat the last couple of games. I mean, he's had a long distance run in each of the last 3 games for sure. And so it's one of those that you just need to keep pounding him away, and he'll break some. We've already seen it tonight.
We have this 2nd and 12 after the loss on first down. Morris is going to drop back, and he will just miss on the outside. Paxton Anderson on that throw. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. And Coach, I know one of the things that the Scots want to do tonight, it was a little hard to do last week, and Drew Scott had such a great game, so that was part of it. But I know that they want to get more of their receivers involved than they did last week. They have a lot of talent on the receiving core, and know that they want to get more of these guys touches and try to get them in space.
Yeah, that's true. And that, one of the things they do, and I mentioned just a little while ago that, Ben Smith's been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks, but, Drew and some of the other guys have really stepped up. And so I think getting him back involved in more of the action will really help. He's open there, missed him.
Morris moving around. He will get a little bit of a gain, but not nearly enough on that 3rd and 12. So that will bring up a 4th down for the Scots offense. Just that longer yardage on first down makes it a little bit hard to convert.
Yeah, it really does. And I think Coach Allen was thinking long and hard about that one. I think he doesn't want to give the ball back. So, again, that's a great stop for the Wolverines. Again, the limiting the Scots on offense to a 3 and out like that, that's fantastic. And, again, this is a big play in the punting game to try to kick it away from them so the Scots can play a little field position game.
Hayden Kleiss gets set to punt. You don't see a lot of that from the Scots. They have good pursuit. That will give the ball back to the Wakeland Wolverines again. So 6-3 Highland Park, 9:22 remaining in this first half. And a little more of a defensive struggle so far. Coming into this game, we were talking about these 2 prolific offenses, and thought that really is Wakeland's strength, but have to be impressed with their defense so far.
Really have. I mean, both teams. I mean, if you told me it was going to be 6-3 and we're 9 minutes left in the second quarter, I've been very surprised because these are the strength of these teams. You know, the offense, they scored a bunch of points. So this is very surprising. So we'll see if it lights up here towards the end of this half.
Label looks to throw. He's just going to pitch it out there. That looks like Peyton Lewis again. And Label's not afraid to throw it out there to somebody.
No, that's a little aerial football play right there. You're kind of running around and you throw one up there and avoid a loss. And again, Label's not going to avoid a lot of people. He's not a runner. He's a big kid. He stands back there and he's going to make some throws. So he's one of those guys that you keep bottled up the best you can. And again, just a little ad lib right there for a nice game.
Second for Wakeland, successful in getting some yards on first down. He's just going to throw it out, and that will be complete to number 2. Don't have a number for a name on him, but a really nice gain. That's going to get Wakeland another first down. Looks like Jared White, and he's a running back. Caught a nice pass there. That's going to get Wakeland that first down.
Yeah, it looked like Tanner Schrank read that well, but just kind of went right by the he was engaged in the blocker and just couldn't quite make the play. So a nice gain, a big first down for the Wolverines.
Wolverines continuing to get yards on first down, which is exactly what they want to do. They don't want to get in third and long situations, and getting first downs and getting to use their game plan on running that clock. Label gets set to take this first down. He'll hand it off again. And that's a nice gain right up the middle. So some successful running from the Wolverines offense.
Yeah, you're seeing that couple of pullers again, guards and the H-back pulling through the hole on a little counter action, and Wolverines with another nice gain here on first down.
And Coach, talk about that. You're seeing a lot of these pulling guards and a lot of that from this offense. And I don't know if the Scots have seen that a ton this year, at least not as much as I'm seeing tonight. How do you prepare them for that?
Well, you could look at a lot of film for one thing and hope the kids do, because they're seeing a lot of tight end and H-back. You usually don't see those together too much in our first 10 games. So this is a very unique look. And again, it's very run-oriented right now. Big play there.
Scots have a huge tackle on that play. That's exactly what they needed. Get some of those yards back.
Yeah, big play by Patrick Turner to make that stop. And again, that's a big play right now. 3rd and 3, and Scott's got a chance.
Look at Patrick Turner here. Big play from Patrick Turner. Emily has something for us on the sideline.
So you look at the aggressiveness of the Wakeland offense. You can tell that they're really trying to get past round 1. As in their last 9 appearances, they've only made it past round 1 once. So you're seeing this aggression as kind of an edge to get them into the second round.
As you see that 3rd down, good pursuit by the Scots on that play.
Yeah, again, that overset, they had the split to had a tight end, and you'll see it right. Well, you can't see it from that angle, but that is over formation, and they ran right to it. The Scots had shifted over and had a nice adjustment to that. So again, after looking at a 2nd and 3, it's now 4th and 3. So great job by the Scots to put a big stop on that.
We'll see what Wakeland does. And back to that play by Patrick Turner. He has 41 total tackles. That's his 42nd. He leads the team. So a huge play by the junior. And when these linebackers and defensive linemen can get off these blocks, really can put offenses in bad situations. As we have another punt from Wakeland. That's going to bounce out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line. That'll put Chandler Morris and the Scots offense back on the field.
Yeah, but a stop, and that's good. I mean, gave up a couple of first downs and let them drive the ball a little bit. But again, the Scots did a good job of getting the offense the ball. And again, this is an important drive right here. The Scots had a nice drive, and then again they get behind the sticks a little bit and make a mistake, drop a pass, miss a block. Something happens, and they start getting behind the chains, and they just can't do that against a team that's really going to have that bend but not break mentality here tonight.
So Morris is back out there for the Scots offense. He'll run the option. He pitches it this time to Hunter Heath. That's going to be a nice gain for the Scots. That'll get him a first down. Successful option play.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. You know, Hunter's a track guy, 100-meter guy. Watch how he plays, kind of slows this down, waits for the block to occur, makes a nice cut. Very, very patient runner, and that's what makes him really special. little guy out there can really run. We've seen the speed, but the patience that he has, let that blocking form in front of you, and then you can hit that crease.
That's a pick your poison situation as the Scots have another first down as Morris will drop back. He will get a completion there to Ben Smith, who makes a man miss, gets the first down, and Morris makes another man miss, and just trips up at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, another downfield block by Paxton Anderson kind of freed that up for an extra 10 yards. And, man, I thought about coming in here that Ben Smith was going to have a big game, and again, he's really done his job right here. Nice little out route, and Chandler's able to find him. Nice little cut. Looked like he was going to run out of bounds, but getting about 10 extra yards. Scots have a first down near midfield. So good job and good plays. 2 good plays right in a row.
Ben Smith, such a fast receiver, great in man-to-man coverage and in those kind of matchups. We have another option. Morris will keep it this time for a great gain. Scott's offense moving down the field on this drive.
Yeah, they've seen something here with this option, and they like what they see. What a great job on that left side of the offensive line for the Scots. They really, let's watch these guys stay with their blocks, running down the field. Look at that, down Marshall driven down about 10 yards. So great job by that whole offensive line there with Morris and Lair and Rourke and Hegebaum all doing their great job up front.
Sam Morris driving guys back tonight. It's another Scots first down. He'll hand it off to Heath, who will bounce it. Makes a man miss. He gets out to the left, gets tackled down hard at about the 20-yard line. So Scott's using a lot of different types of plays to move down the field.
Right, they really are, and they're having a little up the pace a little bit. We'll watch him bounce this thing outside, and again, cuts, and just he's hard to tackle. Little guy won't go down very easily. So great job by the Scott offensive line again, doing a super job up front.
Scott's offensive line, a very big and physical offensive line. You see Big Jack Lair at left tackle, Sam Morse left guard, Will Gibson at center, Jack Rourke at right guard, and you have
that's Grant Gibson out there, little bro out there playing right tackle.
That's a big Scots offensive line.
It really is.
They are looking physical tonight in this game. That's exactly what you want to see in this first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, the Scott offensive line, we've mentioned this before, they're young. Look at that hole. Look at them driving the blocks. They're 10 yards down the field, and they're still making blocks. What a great job up front by the Scots. Sam Morris, again, blocking 15 yards down the field.
Having a great game so far. That'll be a 2nd and 3 for the Scots. They're putting a very nice drive together. They have trips to the right. Looks like they're going to have another option as Morris pitches it to Hunter Heath, who just gets tripped up. Looked like he had some open grass there.
Yeah, he was waiting for everybody to run by him, and they try to cut back against the grain a little bit, and nice cut there by Hunter.
Miles sees something on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, talking to running back coach Ryan Gibbs, one of the things they love about Hunter Heath, and you can see it on this drive, is his conditioning is so excellent. He never gets tired. You never see Hunter Heath with hands on hips, and that helps with finishing drives like right here.
Thanks, Miles. The Scots bringing out the 2-back formation for the first time tonight. Morris is going to hand it off, and that will be a Scots touchdown for Will Anderson. A beautiful drive for this Scots offense as they finish it there with the Will Anderson touchdown.
Boy, watch the blocking up front. Again, little kick-out block by Doak Walker was all he needed, and was able to waltz in there and get a nice touchdown. That's big. Let's see if the Scots go for 2 now. Try to get that point back that they missed on the PAT. Looks like they will.
See if they can get that point back. Miles called the touchdown. He was right. They did finish the drive, and that is just deadly when you can take out Hunter Heath, put in Will Anderson and Doak Walker in a 2-back formation as we get set for this 2-point conversion of trips to the left. Morris will throw it quickly to Drew Scott, and he will get in on a physical run. And Emily has something for us on Drew Scott.
We just saw Drew Scott, a 3-sport athlete, score the 2nd touchdown. But y'all, he just signed yesterday to play lacrosse at the Ohio State University, joining 15 other Scots who signed NLIs yesterday to attend universities for crew, golf, lacrosse, baseball, softball, and volleyball. So you have all of this athletic talent here at Highland Park, and that's showcased by athletes like Drew Scott.
Thank you, Emily. Let's see if we can get a replay again of that 2-point conversion. That was a great executed play by the Scots coach. We saw Drew Scott there get in.
Well, he's such a big body. When you give him the ball like that and you got 2 blockers out in front, because they had that little trips bunch set, and he was able to just put his head down and power for those 2 yards, 3 yards, and get the extra point. So nice job. The Scots got back that one they missed. Just to follow up on what Emily was saying, you know, our Lady Scots volleyball was playing here in the regional tournament tonight, and I am glad to tell you that they won in 3 games over Midlothian. So they will play at 2 o'clock tomorrow, most likely against our old friends from Lovejoy. So that might be worth a visit to go watch that one.
Scots have a short kick. It'll be a fair catch again. Scots up now 14-3 with 5:41 left in the first half. And this is more of what the Scots want to see in this round 1 of the playoffs. Getting a lot of different guys involved on that offensive possession. And now they're going to send this defense back out there, who's had some success stopping the Wakeland offense on the past few drives.
Yeah, that drive seemed to have a little more pace to it, a little more energy to it, and the Scots really took advantage of some big plays and big chunks. You know, that's what we've grown to see and appreciate out there, is those big chunk plays, and they certainly had a few of those on that drive.
Wakeland gets set for a first down in the H-back formation again. Label will hand it off, and not much of a gain on first down for the Wolverines.
You know, they've done their job. They've really tried to shorten this game by being successful on the run. And it looks like, you know, if they're able to get a nice gain on first down, they can stay in their game plan. You know, when you come in here and you think about winning the game, when you fall, 3 scores behind, that next time Scots get the ball will be huge, because then you may have to readdress your game plan and figure something else out.
We have a 2nd and 9. So Label drops back to pass.
Nice.
He does have a man, a nice throw, and another completion to Peyton Lewis, who's having a really solid game so far at receiver.
Yeah, you saw Label's arm right there. He can make a nice play, a little play action pass. Again, they've definitely established the run. The Scots have got to respect the run with the front 7, and able to find what is his favorite target out there, Peyton Lewis, tonight, because he's really done a great job. He's already got 3 catches for 37 yards, and really been a factor out there on the edge.
Jack Curtis is checked in at left defensive end for the Scots, the 6'4", 220 sophomore, having a great season, a bright future ahead of him playing in this playoff game. As Label will hand it off again, and not much there as the Scots have good pursuit and penetration up front again.
Yeah, Burkhart runs hard, doesn't he? I mean, he really gets his knees and shoulders. He gets low. He's a low target. He keeps those legs churning. He's a tough guy to get to the ground. And Scott defense really got to wrap him up and got a gang tackle. Got a lot of guys, a lot of blue shirts to the attack there.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 7, which is more of where the Scots want to be.
Yeah.
So they'll see if they can get him in a 3rd down here as Label and the Wolverines bring out the H-back again. They will roll out a quick throw. We'll see if he got that.
Looked like he did.
He's going to say that he did. That is a completion for Label again, showing some accuracy on this drive. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1, which is exactly where the Wolverines want to be if they get in a 3rd down.
Yeah, they really do, and that's a good point. That's again, staying ahead of those sticks is what they want to do, and they've done a great job with that. Right now, they're doing exactly what they want to do on this drive.
They bring out that H-back formation with the tight end again. The Wildcat, it looks like here.
Ooh.
As Burkhart's just going to keep it. Be close, but I think he got it.
Yeah, I think they got him in the spot. Nice little fake on the end around, looking like maybe a big play coming, and really did a good job of fooling Jack Curtis, I think, a little bit. He kind of went for the fake there and allowed the first down run by Label.
Scott's bringing in some different defensive linemen. You see Isaiah Padak is in there. Jack Curtis just went out. Prince Dorba went in. So they're trying to keep these guys fresh in this first playoff game. As Label will hand it off again. Not much gain there. Looks like he might have even lost a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of those D linemen, Will, you know, you're getting doubled a lot when you got a tight end and an H-back both in. You can double a lot on those defensive ends, and those will wear you out. You're trying to hold your ground, and they can double you up, and that's tough. And still have that puller with that H-back and the guard or a tackle coming with you. So it's tough. It's important that the Scots keep those guys rested and fresh, and they can really create some havoc with that front line.
To make a state run, it's potentially another 6 games which is a lot of games. So that's very important to have depth to play multiple guys, as Label will throw it again. And that will be an incomplete pass for Label, as you see Ford Frazier in on coverage for the Scots.
Yeah, that's a big incompletion now. You're looking 3rd and long, and again, taking a little risk with a little play action pass, and good coverage by the Scots, and a good job over there. Beetrell getting underneath that one too was great. It looked like PT might have gotten away a little bit too, made him throw that one a little high. So again, 3rd and 10, big play for the Scots here to try to get the offense the ball here as we near that 2-minute mark of the first half.
3rd and 10 for Wakeland. See if the Scots defense can get off the field again, as Label will drop back and he will toss it out. And that is a good play by the Scots defense. You have Patrick Turner out there, and you have number 24, John Beetrell, those linebackers, but there is a flag on the play.
Watch those two guys fly to the ball, Patrick and John, all right there to make that play, and good sure tackling. Now they're going to make them do it again, as they're going to move them back and try to play a little field position here. Again, replay 3rd down, so you're giving them another down. They may think about this one here.
Looks like Highland Park will take a timeout. The official initially said that Highland Park declined the penalty, but then they moved back, so I don't know if they're thinking about it or whatnot. But, Coach, one of the things we've really seen in this game so far that's so impressive, that you brought up a few times, is these Highland Park linebackers getting involved in the passing game. Talk about how successful they've been on defense in the passing game so far, using their linebackers really well.
Well, they've done a great job, and getting credit coaching as much as anything, but they've done a great job of reading their keys. There's a lot of play action, a lot of RPO stuff where you got to respect the run, but then they're doing a super job of getting back in their lanes, really clogging up the vision and making those throws more difficult to get to those wide receivers with their drops. So again, a super job. We just talked about Patrick doing that. Andrew Bonnet did it on the other side quickly. It was really a nice play, and that makes it really tough. Now they're going to go with a 4th down. I was wondering if they're going to change their mind. So now we're looking at 4th and about 7 here. Big play for the Wolverines and the Scots.
They do decline the penalty. This is a very important play, as there's about 1:53 remaining in this first half. Scots showing blitz, but then backing up, and they will just punt it. Didn't want to take the risk. A really good punt. Let's see if it gets into the end zone. Wow.
Get away from it. I'm sorry.
A great play. And, Coach, we couldn't quite yell it into the end zone there. That's a really good special teams play.
That really is. That's a super play. And once they've touched it, it's okay for somebody on the offense to pick it up and try to run with it. But that's one of those I actually saw the other night on television. I can't remember which game it was. It may have been the SMU game, but anyway, they tried it. So if Schrank, I'm sitting there going, get out of the way. But if he had picked it up or touched it, it's still a dead ball from the offense touch or the kicking team touching it first. So the Scots got a chance. We've seen a 99-yard run before, so hang on there for a minute.
We have seen Hunter Heath do it. Morris will take this one, gets the Scots a little bit of room. This is a really good test for this Scots offense to be backed up on their own goal line in this situation. As you can see, Chandler Morris keeping it out of a 2-back formation to get some room.
Yeah, that's a good first down play, getting about 6-7 yards there. And
looks like Miles is down there, and he's got something for us on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, it's definitely a very competitive game, as y'all can see up there, but it's very chippy as well. At the end of basically every play, a little bit of talking, a little bit of extracurriculars. Nothing over the top, but definitely something to keep an eye on from up there.
Thanks, Miles. It is a chippy game down there, and seeing these Scots running backs running physical as Will Anderson out of that 2-back formation. You see Doak Walker on a block again, and these guys are really committed to blocking well.
Well, you saw that was about a step away from going the distance there. Again, Chandler, lots of time to throw, and now finally found somebody open. It looks like Case Savage.
It's a great play by Chandler Morris, buying some time and delivering a throw to Case Savage, who found an opening. It's good to see Case Savage involved in the passing game. You got to like how the Scots are getting some of these different receivers the ball tonight, as the Scots are going to hurry up with 40 seconds left in this half. This is a great test for the Scots offense as they go 5 wide. Morris will drop back. He will throw. There's a flag on the play. It is complete to Paxton Anderson, but see if it was a holding call.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to get a hold this time, and this is all going to come back. But, you were right. This is a good test for the Scots. This is something, you work on all the time and as an offensive team and in practice. And a lot of times you're doing it against air, so it's really, not really a true test. But you start the, 10-yard line, and you've got 2 minutes, and you've got, whatever timeouts coach decides to give you, and you run your drills, and you try to make sure that kids know when to get out of bounds, when to get their head down and get a first down. And it's a great, you're right, this is a great learning opportunity for the Scots in a situation really haven't been in. I mean, I can't think of a time when we've had the ball, and a chance to run a drill like this and when the game is really on the line.
The Scots will get moved back a little bit. It looks like we have a timeout on the field. We're not totally sure who took that timeout, but as it stands, the Scots have 2 timeouts remaining from what we can see with 26 seconds left. So we'll see what happens here. Ball's moved back even further. So, Coach, if you're the Scots offense, you're going to try to get the touchdown here?
I think you try to, you're not ready to just run the. Okay. I think you're still trying. You still got 2 timeouts, assuming that one was now, the Scots now down to 1. So they did take that timeout. I think you try a play. And again, you got to keep in mind the game plan for the Wolverines. They're going to rush 3. They're going to have a spy on Chandler, and they're dropping 7 guys. So it's important, and they're all getting very deep. So you got to be patient if you're Chandler Morris right now. You got to take that underneath stuff, hope the guys run and get out of bounds, or you might have to use a timeout. Remember, the clock will stop on a first down.
Hunter Heath also a threat of the backfield receiving. He has 12 receptions and 4 touchdown catches on the year as Morris drops back and throws it. That will be complete to Paxton Anderson.
Yeah, that got a big chunk of it back right there, and that puts the Scots in a nice position. Used 5 seconds and gained about 15 yards. So good catch and good idea getting out of bounds by Paxton Anderson. And again, that's a nice play. You do that again a couple of more times, and again, if they're going to play soft coverage, you're going to be able to complete those 10-yard comebacks.
That's a tough throw to make.
That's
you got to really make that perfectly.
He's on the far hash making a throw to the near sidelines, and that's a big-time arm. That's a Division I arm right there.
Only took 5 seconds off the clock. The Scots have a 2-by-2 set. Heath back in the game. Morris will drop back. Heath does take the ball out of the backfield on a screen, and he has some room. That is exactly what you want to see. Did not take much time off the clock at all, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, he did. Boy, that's good discipline right there. It looked like part of Hunter wanted to make that little juke move and go inside, but then the clock's going to be running. You might have burned your last time out. Again, good decision, good veteran play like we saw with Anderson. We see with Heath getting out of bounds and stopping the clock, giving the Scots a chance to catch a breath and make a good call here.
Like we were saying, Heath is a threat out of the backfield. He has an 80-yard reception this season, so a great play call. As the Scots have a first down with 15 seconds remaining. Morris drops back. He will scramble right. He'll throw it deep, and they're going to say that is incomplete. Looked a little bit close. That was number 5, Case Savage on the sideline. Just couldn't quite complete it. There's 8 seconds left now in the first half. We'll see what the Scots do here.
Well, you really got to get about 10, maybe 15. Any more than 10 would be great, but probably got to get about 10 yards, get down, make a pass completion, get down, and then try to get your timeout called and get a field goal group on here. So, again, they're going to play really deep, and Chandler's got to be patient not to just throw one up for grabs. Hit something underneath, get a timeout, and get your field goal kicker out here.
Scots go empty again. Morris drops back. He's got a man open in the middle.
Get down.
That's Case Savage. He gets down. The Scots will get the timeout. Coach Allen showing his speed, sprinting down the sideline.
Yeah, he was really moving. I think everybody, that's one of those you tell everybody, no matter what happens, call timeout. Chandler turns around, runs right at the white cap there and makes sure he gets that timeout called. So look at everybody. Paxton's calling it. Everybody's calling it. Ben Smith's over there calling it. That's one everybody call timeout, so nobody misses that one. And you got 2 seconds now. You got a chance to kick a field goal here to go in at half with a 14-point lead.
2 seconds remaining, and I was impressed with Coach Allen's speed. I saw him sprinting down the sideline. Great clock management to get field goal opportunity with 2 seconds left. Case Savage making a good reception down the middle, and we'll see if the Scots can get 3.
That started on the 1 foot line with a minute 36 to go, and the Scots were able to get at least this field goal attempt. Wesley Winter with a nice, looks like about a 35-yard attempt here to give the Scots a 2-score lead.
That really is an amazing drive when you think about it. That's very difficult to do. So if the Scots can get 3 out of it, looks like Wakeland will try to ice him here as Winters gets a practice kick in.
Man, he hit that one solid. That one went right through. So, again, they'll talk about it. That's what you know, those timeouts don't do you any good in the locker room, so you might as well use them. And that was a good use of a timeout there if that kick was any indication. Let's see if Wesley can go back-to-back now.
Has to give him a little confidence, getting to strike one of those for free.
Yeah, especially after that extra point where he shankopotamused that to the left there. So, yeah, that's going to make him feel a little bit more confident, that's for sure, because he cleared that one easily.
So an interesting half so far for the Highland Park Scots, really heating up as of late. Defense playing great. Wakeland had some drives early, but the Scots able to get off the field, and now with a very long drive that began from their own end zone, the Scots have a chance to get 3 right before halftime, which would be a huge win for their team heading into the break. Winters just made a practice one before the timeout. Looks like we're going to get another timeout here. You got to love it when they continue to ice the kicker.
Well, they really are, and that's good. Again, that's all the timeouts they have, so they're not going to need them anymore. So, again, you can't argue with something like that. That's a pretty good strategy call. Not going to hurt you.
We'll send it down to Miles as we get ready for this field goal.
Hey guys, down here catching up with some of our old favorites, chatting with Finn Corwin right now, and down here with Travis Yoder, Highland Park's head baseball coach, who of course has a number of youngsters out there for Highland Park, including Jack Curtis, Patrick Turner, Hayden Kleiss, and Case Savage. But they have had some great battles with Frisco Wakeland over the years on the baseball diamond, and he just has a lot of respect for them as these two teams have competed, and Frisco Wakeland always shows up. Let's see what the Scots have here on this 35-yard attempt.
Thank you, Miles. Winters gets set to see if he can make this field goal. After 2 timeouts, the kick is up.
Boy, you got to love that.
Timeouts didn't affect him at all.
He nailed it right down the heart, man. That was great. That's cold-blooded. I love that. Good job to see Wesley come bouncing back after that missed a PAT. So good way to end the half.
You have to love that from the Scots as you see this kick replay again. I mean, he hit that right down the middle. 2 timeouts didn't faze him at all. And, Coach, the Scots started that, as we said, not a lot of time left at all. And they went right down the field from their own end zone. A great test for the Scots, able to get 3 points. And that's important in a game like this against a disciplined football team.
Yeah, it really is. Again, nice answer. It looked like the Scots bottled up. And, you know, you come up with a 3 and out. If you're the Wolverines, you might think you're going to get the ball in some great field position with a few seconds on the clock for your outstanding field goal kicker to maybe get another field goal through there. So that's a big play for the Scots to come and answer that one with a big field goal there to give them a 2-touchdown lead.
Now, one of the things we're getting to watch right now, as you can see, is some students and families who have been a part of a significant fundraising campaign over the last few weeks called Kids Helping Kids. This campaign was launched by the Park City's Dads Club to support families in North Dallas whose homes were destroyed by the tornado that swept through the area on Sunday, October 20th. So support dollars were collected over a 5-day period of time via online donations at a Scott football game, through bake sales, student collection drives. And one student, Caroline Annette, asked participants attending her birthday party to bring gift cards for the campaign in lieu of personal presents, which is really amazing. Extremely selfless thing to do.
Impressive.
It's pretty cool. So all total, this is amazing. The Kids Helping Kids campaign raised $51,000 for our neighbors in Dallas ISD to help with food, clothing, shelter, and supplies. So joining them on the field, in addition to the members of the Park City's Dads Club, is Dr. Liliana Valadez. She's the Executive Director of Parent Advocacy and Support Services for DISD. So we're thankful to everyone in the Park City's Dads Club in the Kids Helping Kids campaign, willing to step up and serve our city when there was a huge need just a few weeks ago. So you got to love that, getting to celebrate that tonight at this game.
Will, I don't know if you've driven through that North Dallas area, but it's looked like a war zone, and I'm impressed that that's just another thing, the Highland Park community reaching out and helping people in surrounding areas and showing their kindness and generosity. So that's those kids are to be saluted, and their parents, and help them organize it. Absolutely, what a great thing, something for the community to be proud of.
You have to love to see that, and especially in this type of a environment as we begin this playoff run, which will hopefully be a long one, just to see that this community and this team is using their platform for really good things. And you have to love to see that. And really on that note, Coach, you know this because I interrupted your class a couple weeks ago, but I spoke to the student council, and there were some guys, I'm thinking of Andrew Bonnet, John Beetrell, Jack Curtis, some other football players on the student council. So we love seeing these guys use their platform to lead, and then tonight to get to see the community using things like football to help the city.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, Highland Park offers a lot of opportunities in clubs and organizations, student council, a lot of opportunities for kids to really step up and be leaders in a lot of different areas of interest. And it's always impressive to me. You know, I write a lot of letters of recommendation, and the number of community service hours that these kids contribute. I know when they announce that at graduation, it's thousands and thousands of hours from these 500 kids that graduate, and that's so impressive because the community's always trying to do something for others, and some of the things that these kids are involved in, from Habitat for Humanity to North Texas Food Bank, and all of the list goes on, at Austin Street Shelter, all kinds of places that these kids do to try to help their community out. So I'm always blown away by it. I'm very impressed with the quality of the individuals, which, of course, quality parents are going to, those acorns don't fall very far from the tree, so they're quality individuals and quality parenting, too.
You have to love that, and of course takes teachers like you that invest in them every day. And I'm thinking of John Henton, the student council sponsor that gets these people in all sorts of different organization activities to serve. And it's great to see. But tonight, Coach, we are focused on this game, the first round of the playoffs for Highland Park, as they seek to pursue an unprecedented fourth straight championship. But they go one game at a time. And one of the things we know is that each game, as they go on throughout this season, kind of these coaches' mantra is they want to get better and they want to peak going in to the playoff time. And I think that's one of the things that really separates these good teams from the contenders is the Scots aren't just looking at these amazing stats. They're looking at the film and they're thinking about ways that they can specifically get better. So with that in mind, what have you seen so far in this first half that stood out to you from this team that's trying to make a run?
Well, I tell you what, I think I've seen a little bit of determination. The things did not go well, and they stayed focused. They stayed determined. They kept working hard, and they were very determined on offense and defense. I mean, this was not the game plan that you expected. Scots come out, stuff them, and then score quickly and that kind of thing. This has not been like that. I think, too, Scots have played two tough football games in a row, and they emotionally were a little spent after those two games. And I think it took them a quarter and a half to realize that they're in a football game again, and there's a team out there that's trying to upset them and keep them from winning a fourth straight state championship. So, hats off to Wakeland. They played a great first half, and I know they're down 14 right now, but they've really had a good game plan. I think the first 5 minutes of the third quarter is going to be really important to both teams because Scots get up ahead, you kind of have to change your game plan a little bit. You can't be running the ball. The play action passes at least starts being a little less effective, and the Scots have just started clicking on offense as we saw on that last drive there to get that field goal right before half.
Well, that's definitely not what Wakeland wants to do, is to get in a situation where they're chasing the Scots, if the Scots can have those kind of drives. And while Wakeland may not have the D1 recruits that we've seen in the past two games, which is Timberview and Lancaster, well, we do know that the Highland Park coaching staff has talked about this week is that this is a disciplined team, and they are sound, and they're going to make you earn your yards, and they're going to make you play solid fundamental defense, being ready to play everything. So like you mentioned, with the Scots coming in off of two pretty emotional wins, one very physical game, and then an overtime game to win a district championship, this is a harder first-round test than it might look like.
Oh, I agree with that. And I'll tell you one thing, and since I'm not coaching anymore, I can look ahead. So, in looking ahead, This is, like I've been saying the whole first half, this same game plan that Lone Star used very successfully against the Scots in week 3. And, they were going to use a spy. They were going to rush 3. And they're going to force Chandler into some mistakes. And they've used the same strategy. They're not blitzing. They have that Jack Marshall, number 41, is going to go with Chandler wherever he goes. And they're dropping 7. So it's patience, patience, patience. Take what they give you. They're going to drop deep. They're going to not let anything get behind them. And they're going to say, you cannot be patient enough to work the ball down the field. And this is a great lesson because we're going to see it again potentially in 2 weeks because we're going to see the same game plan. So I think a little more Hunter Heath, a little more Drew Scott, because those 2 guys weren't here in week 3 when we played Lone Star. Let those guys get more involved and, again, be patient on offense. Defensively, I think the offense really, if they get another score, those play-action passes are going to have a little less effect on the Scott defensive front. They're going to be dropping into those passing zones, and they're going to get some deflection. I wouldn't be surprised to get a couple of turnovers off of that.
That would be huge for them. And let's look at some of the first half stats. Here we have the Scots with 14 first downs. They've doubled Wakeland's first downs. They have 7. So early on in the game, it looked like that might go a little different way. So that kind of worked out. And for total yards, the Scots have 286 total yards. And on the other side, you have 132 total yards. And if you look at that, Hunter Heath having another great game, 7 attempts, 101 yards, and then his average, coach, this is amazing. This is how it's been all season. He has 14.43 yards per attempt. And on the season, I'm going to find this stat real quick. He's averaging 13.5 on the season.
Yeah, that's nothing new to see him with that double-digit rush yards per carry. He just is getting in the open. And credit the offensive line. They're doing a super job and great play calling to give him some opportunities to do that. It's good to see Chandler running. Boy, Chandler's running smart tonight, Chandler realizes he's got 6 more games to play, and he's running out of bounds. He's getting down even on the option plays, and even when he's taking off running to extend plays, he's getting down, getting out of bounds, and he's got 6 carries for 42 yards.
Oh, and speaking of that, just how he's playing, he's 9 for 13 tonight. He's almost throwing at a 70% completion rate. So going into the playoffs, that's exactly what you want to see from your quarterback. He's very disciplined. He's buying time, but he's not forcing throws in this game. He's looking really good. And if you look at these receivers, they're getting multiple receivers involved. You see Case Savage, 2 receptions for 49 yards, a big one there on that last drive. Ben Smith getting involved, which I know you love, 3 for 41. You have Hunter Heath receiving out of the backfield, a really important screen on that last drive to get 3 points before halftime. Then Paxton Anderson getting involved with 2 receptions. And you see some really good yards per attempt. Let's look at some highlights of this first half that ended up putting the Scots up 17-3 at halftime.
Yeah, look at that. That's a nice block by Case Savage down there. And again, Drew Scott really contributing to that block in the end zone. Nice run. Again, nice cut. This little dude, we've seen him in open space, and he is a tough guy to get to the ground. And he just powers over that last 4 yards. And here's Will Anderson going behind Doak Walker's block and really untouched to the goal line, and nice little power play. It's a little kick-out block, and you see Will Anderson. That, you hate to say that's our big back look. We put Will Anderson and Doak in there. That's great. Here's that 2-point play we wanted to look at again. That's great. Again, Drew Scott with a little hitch pass and big blockers out in front and mowing them down. Again, Chandler has all day to find someone open. Eyes always downfield, and there's Case Savage right there with a reception. That's one thing that you see a quarterback, sometimes they put their heads down. You see that on Saturday sometimes. A guy starts to run and he puts his head down and he can't find those receivers. So Chandler's looking downfield and really doing a good job. And, of course, Wesley coming in to knock down that field goal after 2 timeouts, 2 attempts to ice the shooter there. And he was able to convert ice water through those veins there in Wesley Winters.
A big way to end the half with the Scots up 17-3 in this first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs against Wakeland. We are now going to give it to the Highland Park Band and the Highland Park Bells, and we'll be back with you shortly to begin the second half.
Class will perform a kick routine to long ball.
Welcome back to Highlander Stadium. Will Washington here with David Clark in the booth with the Scots up 17-3 going into the third quarter. We just got to see the Highland Park Band, the award-winning Highland Park Band, and the Highland Park Bells. So, Coach, a really good end to that half. If you're a Highland Park fan, they were backed up in their own end zone, able to take it all the way to get 3 points out of it after an attempted icing of the kicker twice. But 17-3 Scots going into the second half.
Hey, I love that strategy for one thing. I really think that was a good idea. Those timeouts don't do you any good at halftime, so you might as well use them and hope that it happens. Give Wesley a lot of credit for staying cool, staying calm, staying relaxed. So that's, especially after his last kick, he shanked it pretty good. So real good response. But this is going to be a good first. I think first 5 minutes of this will be really telling to see. If Scots come out and they score, it's 24-3, and boy, you got to be thinking, you got to be doubting yourself a little bit if you're a Wolverine. Wolverines come in, they're the first ones to score. Now you're talking about a different game here. If you go 17-10 or something like that, it's going to really be a dogfight the rest of the way. You know, it's funny, we were checking some scores at halftime, and I know it's only halftime, but there are a few surprises out there. Lone Star was ahead at 7-0 over Legacy at halftime. So, Scots had no trouble with Legacy when they played them the first time. So that was real surprising. So you never know what's going to happen come playoff time. Some teams that have been there, you know, they're kind of used to it. And you got to kind of ride out the good times and the bad times, and just make sure that you're ready to play in the fourth quarter. And some teams may be a little, you know, gun shy. Maybe the expectation level is too high, and they're not quite ready to play. So that'll be an interesting one to watch here in the second half. See that one unfold.
And it's such a marathon. I mean, you have to win so many games if you're going to win a state championship. And for the Scots, coming off of 2 really big wins, one of them in overtime and the second one last week, they pulled away in the second half, but that was a tough game against some really good athletes. So coming into this game, and obviously people have talked about that potential rematch with Lone Star in maybe the 3rd round. So this game, you don't want to look past it. You don't want to look past a very disciplined team that's going to make you earn everything. So far, once the Scots were able to kind of get their feet under them, you have to like this result. And one of the things that I saw thinking about the offense is I like how they got multiple guys involved. They got guys in space. They got multiple running backs involved. Hunter picked up right where he left off last week. So going into the second half, what do you want to see from this offense to build on?
I want to see continuing that. It was kind of like a rapid pace they had. They had a real nice rhythm to it. A lot of that, you know, Coach Allen getting in the rhythm of calling the plays. He's getting used to what they're running. Again, they're running something that the Scots saw in week 3 that Lone Star did. So starting to see that unfold a little bit. I want to see Chandler be patient. Don't force the ball into coverage, and don't try to force the ball deep, because they're gonna bend, but their philosophy is they're not going to break. They're going to make you earn stuff underneath. So Scots are going to have to drive the ball a little more. Hunter Heath, I'd love to see him continue his great work that he's been doing. And boy, defensively, I think more of the same. Take away that running game. Scott offense could really help out the defense a lot by scoring again and really taking that run game out of there. So that's really going to be an interesting first 5 minutes or so. I think this thing could really change one way or the other.
And one of the things that we love seeing from that Highland Park defense in the first half was the way that these linebackers got involved in the passing game. They were out there deflecting passes, making it very difficult for these receivers to defend, yet also effective in stopping the run after those first few drives. These linebackers looking really good so far for the Scots. So going into the second half, just seeing them continuing to build on that. They're all over the field right now, and it's a really good thing if you're Coach Melton and the Scots defense.
You know, I agree. I think what I've seen really, first off, you have some super athletes playing linebacker for the Scots this year. And what I've seen from, you know, the group that Coach Davis and Coach Bean do with those linebackers, they get good drops. They read the plays quickly, and they get good drops, and they're going to be in the way. We saw Patrick Turner intercept one because of a good drop, and he got underneath the coverage and takes one to the house. And so, I mean, that's really helps your secondary. And remember, that's a young group in that secondary. And you know, you got 3 juniors back there. And again, I know they played a whole season, but this is their first playoff game. So, you know, the tension is a little different. The lights are a little brighter, it seems like. So it's one of those things you got to be ready to play. And those senior linebackers are really helping them out a lot.
Well, talking about those linebackers, you mentioned it. Andrew Bonnet also has an interception on the year. Dylan Ham has an interception. Marshall Landwehr has an interception. Prince Dorba, defensive line, has an interception. So they're getting multiple players, not just these DBs, in with interceptions. So I know that going into this game, it's really important if the Scots are going to win another state championship to protect the ball and also win the turnover battle. They don't want to just only protect the ball on offense. They want to force some of these on defense. So I think going into the second half, you mentioned the first half, we'll see if they can capitalize on maybe making Wakeland try some things to get back into the game if they are able to get out early in the second half. And maybe the Scots defense will have a chance to add to their takeaways here.
Yeah, I think that's true. And we haven't had a turnover in the game, right? I mean, we really, it's been a well-played game on both sides. But I agree with you. I think if the Scots get Wakeland doing things they don't want to do, like throw the ball on first down. They don't want to throw the ball on first down. They want to run the ball, get 5 or 6 yards, and be able to have a little play action on second and third down with and have that run threat. But if you go down 21 points or 28 points or whatever it might be, that changes your game plan. They did a great job of milking the clock, shortening the game. And they'd love to do this in the second half, but if they have any hope of winning the game, they're going to have to score, and they're going to have to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone. They haven't been able to do that yet.
The Scots run out to get ready to begin the second half. They still have some energy there, and you see it from the seniors in the student section. I was on the sideline last week and jumped in there for a little bit, and I was surprised how loud it can get in that part of the field, mainly because of the seniors and whatever that ridiculous thing that they shake. That thing is loud, and it gets these guys fired up in the playoffs.
The old marbles in the propane tank. Somebody's got to carry that around, and I hope our viewers got a chance to see the new jerseys. I talked about that earlier. They got the star that has the championships on them, the years of the winning the championship, and they've added that little gold look across the shoulder pad, which I think is really cool looking. And there haven't been a whole lot of changes to Highland Park's uniforms in the last 20 years, so that's been a real cool deal. There's old Jack Watson, famous golfer for Highland Park. There's a couple of golfers, so it's good to see. You know, that's kind of a rite of passage. The seniors get down on the first row, and juniors know better than to get down on that first row. They know that that's not a spot for them. That's going to be a senior place. So looks like Scots are going to get the ball first. That's great. Maybe get off to a good start. The offense will be a chance to kind of get that thing up 3 touchdowns. So we'll see what happens.
Very important start to see what the Scots are able to do with the football to get going as we get set. 17-3, Scots over Frisco Wakeland. But Frisco Wakeland showing that they can move the ball and they can force the Scots to punt. So hopefully the Scots will come out focused. Any adjustments you would expect to see from the Scots offense as they get ready to get the ball again?
Just clean it up. You know, no penalties and no holding penalties. You don't need to hold. I mean, there's a good
they
stop.
try an onside, and it looks like they might get. I think the Scots got it.
They had a great chance. What a great.
They think that they did.
They sure did.
They got the ball. Wow, what a play to start the second half by Frisco Wakeland, taking a shot.
Yeah, Tate Gleason comes away with it on the kick cover group, and you know what a gutsy start. I mean, we mentioned that this game could go either way, and that's a great kick and kind of caught the Scots by surprise a little bit, it looks like, and they weren't quite ready, didn't feel it very cleanly, and it looks like they had at least the first shot at it and couldn't come up with it. So let's see what they're maybe talking about, a penalty or something here at offsides, but I don't know that we have that. It didn't look like anybody was offsides the first time we looked at it, so I don't know what the Scots are. Maybe the Scots think they had the ball.
That's what I was wondering. Initially, it looks like Wakeland had a chance to get it and that the Scots got it, but then they came up with it. So I wonder if they wrestled it away or something, but they're sticking with that call that is Wakeland ball, and obviously we can't review that play. But Coach Allen's talking to him about it.
The red flag going out there or anything. But, yeah, you know, in a pileup like that, Will, you know as well as I do that ball can change hands multiple times. I mean, that thing's going back and forth, and that's really what the weight room's all about. You got to grab that ball and hang on to it with dear life and cradle it up and protect it. So, you know, again, credit the Wolverines. They know how important these first 5 minutes are, and that this game is kind of hinging on what happens here. And that's a gutsy call. That's kind of, you know, Sean Payton Super Bowl start right there. And you never know. That's a great momentum. You saw him running off the field, how excited. You know, they talked about that at halftime. You know, hey, we're going to kick an onside kick. We're going to get the ball, go down and score. It's a new game. So, you know, their game plan's working well here right off the bat.
That's a big play. Talk about that Sean Payton momentum shifting call, and we'll see if this one is too. That's a high risk, high reward play because if you don't get it, Morris is going to get the ball with this Scots offense that's been successful. They're still talking with the officials, so it looks like the Scots are making a case, and we don't know if it's a offside situation or if they think that they got the ball. I think that it looks like the Scots had it originally, but I don't know what they're talking about down there.
Well, Coach Thrasher keeps pointing back at their kickoff cover team, so I don't know what the situation is there, but I don't know that they're arguing maybe that they didn't whistle it for play, or, you know, who knows what it was. I would think they're talking maybe offsides or something like that. But anyway, the Scots need to step up right here.
It'll be a test for the defense that did not think they were getting on the field, so we'll see if they can get their focus here early.
Yeah, and this acts like a turnover. You got to watch for a big play right here coming right off the bat. And shot down here, as Coach Eason likes to call it. Here we go with a reverse.
We have a reverse flea flicker, but it'll be fumbled and it will get nothing. So 2 attempts early, and we've got, looks like, do we have a flag down there, Coach?
I was just watching because they were trying to get one deep. There was no doubt that they were trying to go for the home run right off the bat. And that's one thing you try to do after you get a sudden change like that and a little momentum. and they tried the reverse flea flicker, and good job by Tanner Schrank to stay with that receiver coming all the way across the field. So, again, good job by the Scott defense to be alert for something like that, and a big negative play now. They're way behind the sticks.
That's a second, and it looks like about 28 yards. We'll have a play action. He'll throw it deep, and no one's even in the area as Tanner Schrank is on coverage. Great plays, 2 in a row for Tanner Schrank.
Man, he really stacked that receiver. That's a great job of coverage right there. Again, staying in great position. No place for the receiver to go. Kind of ran his route for him, and super job there. Now it's 3rd and long, and again, the Scots could come out of this in good shape after what looked like a really staggering start here to the second half.
We, of course, love seeing that from the junior Tanner Schrank. We've talked about it before, but he had a tough start to the season with appendicitis, had to miss a game, and to see him here, the junior, in this playoff game, playing really well so far as we have a 3rd down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Scots look a little confused on defense. Let's see, the timeout. Thank goodness. I think that's a break for the Scots. They were kept looking over the sideline and trying to, I mean, that's a major prevent defense right there. They're backing linebackers up 15 yards, so the Scots are not used to doing that. You're playing guys out of position, but the Wolverines want them to talk about it too. And this is not a time to throw one up for grabs and turn the ball over, so want to be sure to remind your quarterback of that if you're on the Wolverine sidelines.
So we've got a 3rd and 28 for Wakeland, and if I remember correctly, I think Timberview might have converted maybe like a 3rd and 30 last week, and they just threw it up and had a tall receiver.
Yeah, they really did, and that's one way of doing it because, hey, if it's picked, it's like a punt. You know, you throw a ball 40 yards down the field, if they pick it, fine. If not, you know, incomplete, or maybe you get lucky and your guy, Timberview's got some athletes that could go up and get it, and that's the difference there, that you really feel like you're going to get a 50-50 ball like that. So let's see how they want to play it. I would think in their position you're going to be as aggressive as you possibly can, but I wouldn't be surprised if they throw a little screen or something like that just to see if they can get a few yardage and play a little field position.
You do want to take advantage of that onside kick.
Yeah, you really do. You got a lot of momentum off of it.
Label will drop back. Oh, he gets hit hard. It's going to be a sack for number 24, John Beatrill coming in. That's a huge play for the Scots defense on 3rd and long.
Man, I'll tell you what was kind of cool there. Watch this. Beatrill on a little right. He kind of came inside. That's a little blitz package that Coach Melton has where OB comes to the inside and a little crossing with the defensive ends. But when he showed it before the timeout, it was everybody dropping. So he comes out of the timeout with putting a little heat on the quarterback Label, and boy, he came in with a big hit. And that's a great way for your defense to step up right there after an onside kick.
Coach Melton has to love that as we see this punt. Wow. That's a very high punt. That'll get a good bounce. Some good special teams play from the Wolverines tonight, but talking about that Scots defense, not knowing that you're about to have to go on the field, that's not an easy situation to get into. And they were focused, brought up a 3rd and long, and then John Beatrill, who was a player of the week last week, with a huge sack. You have to love that from the Scots defense.
Yeah, and they got helped out by, again, and I don't blame the Wolverines for trying to hit a big play right off of that turnover, which basically was what it was, and trying to hit the Scots with a big touchdown. But, boy, what a great response. And then when you lose 20 yards on that, you're really behind the sticks. And great job by the defense to get the ball back for the offense with, only damage done here is about 1 minute and 33 seconds. So Scott offense back on the field here in the 3rd quarter.
And they will run it to start as Heath will bounce outside. He will get the 1st down and more. Didn't look like Wakeland had a lot of guys there to help in the run game, and the Scots took advantage of it on this 1st down play.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch that little guy go. He kind of disappears behind those huge offensive linemen, and watch those guys out leading the way. Again, a very patient run, and he finally hits the sidelines, and he tucks his head down and gets as much as he can. What a tough runner.
Another 1st down for the Scots offense, and trips to the right. Morris will have a play action, will roll out right. He will complete it to Drew Scott, who turns it upfield and gets another 1st down. Another nice play for the Scots on 1st down.
Yeah, and that's, I think, Drew's first reception of the day. They've targeted him before, but I think that's the first catch, and got to get him back involved. He's such a weapon for the Scots. Little play action bootleg by Chandler. Again, nice throw right in the hands, and Drew can do something with it when he catches the ball. So Scott's on a nice little drive right here.
It's another first down for the Scots. Morris will hand it off to Heath. Heath will bounce it outside, and he will get some yards. That's another first down. He is pushed out of bounds. So the Scots beginning with 3 straight first downs on this drive.
If we get another look at this, I want you to watch Case Savage, number 5, right on the edge when he bounces outside. He gets a nice little push on that, the guy who had outside contain, and he gets a nice push on him and allows Hunter to make the corner.
Back to what we've been saying about these receivers getting involved in the blocking game. That really, really helps these runs turn into big runs as the Scots are in Wakeland territory, looking to strike again early in the second half. They'll hand it again to Heath. They'll take it down the middle. Oh, and he fumbles it, and Wakeland's going to jump on it. They get another break. They get the ball back as the Scots were driving down the field. The Scots commit a turnover while they're going in to score.
Yeah, that's a tough break. They had everything going for them. What a huge hole. That was a tremendous hole for Hunter to run through. Great job up front. And then a real nice tackle. Really stuck their helmet in there and knocked the ball loose. So you got to credit Wakeland for a nice little play there to stop that Scott drive. And, man, that's a big momentum shift.
So the Scots defense gets put back on the field. It worked well last time. So Isaiah Paddock is now in a nose guard as they continue to rotate. Prince Dorba and Houston Hummel at the ends will do a play action, and it will be incomplete this time to Peyton Lewis.
Yeah, good job by Prince on the outside. He had contain over there and a little kind of a naked bootleg kind of play there for Label, and Prince was right there in his face and caused the errant throw really as much as anything.
So that will be a 2nd and 10. As you see Coach Wells talking to his offensive line on the sideline.
Yeah, what a good dude he is. I mean, he's going over with them, make sure. I tell you what, he doesn't have anything to complain with those guys. They've been blocking their tails off up front and been some huge holes.
Wakeland will hand it off to Burkhart, and he will not get much.
Again, really a great play, great stop on first down. You see the Scots really swarming. Look at Prince kind of slips a block and then holds that edge, and here comes the cavalry there to make a play. Kyle Hershey there, PT, Patrick Turner's there. Good job by the inside backers to fill that. Good job by Prince to occupy 2 blockers there.
Getting a lot of these linebackers involved tonight, chasing the ball really well. That brings up another 3rd down and long, which is where the Scots want Wakeland to be. Label will drop back. Looks like Scott's had another sack opportunity, but he will get rid of it. But that will not be hauled in. That is an incomplete pass. The Scots forcing pressure on that 3rd down.
Yeah, I think that might have been Jack Curtis there with a little pressure, number 95. Let's see if it was Jack or Prince. Yeah, it looked like Jack got there first, got a hand on that passing arm, and made Label have to reload. And by that time, the timing of the play was all messed up. And that's another big stop for the Scott defense here. 2 in a row coming out to start the 3rd quarter here now. Offense was moving. They just can't turn the ball over and make penalties. So they got a chance. They've really only stopped themselves so far.
Jack Curtis, the sophomore, making that pressure happen. He has 5 tackles for a loss on the season as we see another high punt. That is going to be almost to midfield, so favorable field position for the Scots offense. They were rolling down the field on their last drive to start the second half. Unfortunately, that turnover got in the way. And if you look at these total yards, even though it's 17-3, 346 total yards for the Scots, only 107 for Frisco Wakeland. So the Scots definitely winning the battle with yards right now. They're doing a great job, and they have held Wakeland to 30 rushing yards. And I'm trying to see their yards per rush. Looks like 1.4 yards per rush. This rushing defense is exactly what you want to see tonight.
That's what they needed to do to have a chance here of just completely stuffing the Wolverine offense, and they've done that.
Play action to start this drive as Morris will roll out left. He'll hold on to it, and he will get the first down Didn't see a man, held onto the ball, and used his speed.
He just doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but nobody catching him. So he really did turn the jets on the outside. I love this because this is patience right here. Nobody's open. I'm going to take what they give me and line up and play second down, or in this case, first down again. So don't throw it into a crowd. Don't throw it to a covered receiver, and just take what you can get, and let's play again.
Looks like Ben Smith adapted when he realized Morris was running. Had a good block there and enabled him to get a little bit more. So once again, these receivers showing that they can block as Morris will run the option. He will hold on to it. He'll get a few yards on first down.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Again, good decision by Chandler. They played the pitch that time. You got Hunter Heath out there. You better have somebody on the pitch. And Chandler does a good job getting as much as you can, getting down and getting ready to play another snap. So again, the way they're defending the Scots, you've got to be patient, and you've got to take what they give you, and that may be underneath stuff. That may be a little bit of the running game, and this is what the Scots need to do, and the players need to think that way. You know, I'm going to take what you give me, and we're going to score.
Morris drops back on second down. Patient again. He'll roll right, and he will complete it to Case Savage. Finds him with his patience, and that'll give the Scots another first down.
You know, I was just looking downfield, and both outside receivers had double coverage on them. They had a guy underneath them, a guy on top. So Chandler trying to find one of those inside guys, and sure enough, he gets one. And, you know, I thought that Case and Ben might have big games here today because they're going to try to take away Drew Scott. And, of course, the Paxton's such a big target out there. Both of them had double coverage that last down.
The Scots felt good going into the game. They can match up well on the inside, so you're seeing these guys find places in the zone as Morris hits a play action, and he will deliver it to Drew Scott. Another completion. Drew Scott having a nice game. He's getting involved again as of late.
Hey, if we get a chance to look at this one again, I want you to watch Hunter Heath over the block. Coming up, play fake, pressure. They brought a little heat that time. Hunter really making that play possible, giving Chandler a chance to make a play. So he's more than just, he's a complete back. He's not just going to run. He makes great catches, but he also is a great blocker out there too. The little man can get it done.
Scott's bringing the H-back formation back for this play. Morris will do a play action. He'll throw it quickly to Ben Smith, who gets a few yards. I was going to break that at first.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that was a late hit.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of oohed and awed on that one. That's a little bit late though.
Ben Smith liked the call on that. That will be a late hit. Looks like a newer play out of the H-back formation for the Scots, at least not something that they do often out of that, doing a quick throw.
You always want to do something off of a set that the other team hadn't seen, just to give you something else to worry about. And again, you know, that might be a combo play, you know, another RPO type thing where Chandler's reading single coverage, DB's playing off. I'm just going to fake this and throw it out to my wideout and let him make a play.
You predicted that Ben Smith would have a big game, and so far he is. He's getting involved, and looks like the H-back is here again. The Scots are stacking receivers on the outside. This is going to be an interesting play. Morris will just hand it to Hunter Heath, and Hunter Heath will get stopped. There are so many things they can do out of that.
Yeah, that was a high snap, and Chandler did a good job to grab it, and looked like that handoff to Hunter Heath was a little high too. So you got to be sure of your ball handling right now when you're down this close. You got to really be doubly careful. Make sure your snaps are right. And it looks like we got an injured player on the field.
Looks like Hunter Heath down for the Scots.
Oh my gosh!
Might have taken a hard hit or something on that last play. Definitely hope that he's okay. We don't like seeing that at all. So hope that he's all right as they go and look at him. So Coach, Scots are driving down the field right now, and they're starting to use that H-back formation that they love, and that could be pretty tough to deal with in the playoffs.
Yeah, it really can. Will, I agree. And but there's your bell cow right there laying on the turf, so you're a little worried about that. But yeah, this is when you turn it over the offensive line. That you get down inside the 5-10 yard line, you line up with that H-back and Luke Cameron or whoever you want to use in that spot, and let him go, let clear a path for him. So it looks like he's okay.
Looks like he's running off.
Kind of limping off a little bit, but he'll be fine. He's a tough kid. He's a tough dude, and he'll come back strong, I know. But one thing worried, you don't want to make a mistake like a high snap on something like that. And that snap was high, and it really caused Chandler to make a high handoff to Hunter. And the whole play seemed to lose a little rhythm. And didn't have that crispness that we'd had before. So we'll see what happens now. It looks like they're going to come back in and, it's the big jumbo package. You love this, I know. He's got Patrick Turner at running back now. You know, we got to give Patrick the ball. This would be a great time to give Patrick the ball here on this.
They might. We'll see if they do a quick snap. They like to do this
muddle
here.
Huddle and come out and
Jack Curtis in there, man in motion. He's just going to give it to Ben Smith. See if he can get the outside. But good pursuit by Wakeland. I like the play, but they were just ready for it.
Yeah, they really were. It looked like they grabbed a horse collar or a helmet or something, but that was weird. That was a great play. Those are two good plays that the Wolverines needed desperately to turn the Scots away. Now the Scots come back in with their normal set. Looks like Will Anderson will be at running back, but back with the spread formation and, the full complements of wideouts. Yeah, it looks like just grabbed the back of his helmet or something. And he kind of yelled something at the crowd. You know, Miles mentioned that it's kind of chippy down there. I think you saw an example of it right there. This is a big play, 10-yard line. Scots have failed twice. It's 3rd down and goal.
Scott Show trips to the left. Morris will drop back. They are double covering the outside. He will throw it in. And it's just dropped by Ben Smith. Amazing patience by Morris. Found a man and just could not bring it in for the Scots. Had a touchdown there, Coach.
Again, I probably throw back to my old days. I was watching the wideouts. There were double coverage on both wideouts, and Ben Smith was all alone in the middle of the end zone, and Chandler just couldn't find him. But boy, that was tough. And then he sprints out, and again, that scramble drill, you see it from the defensive side, but you also see it from the offensive side. Start running with your quarterback so he can find you. And he found Ben and just couldn't quite come up with it. So a big kick now for Wesley to knock this one through.
Inside receivers definitely getting open when they double cover them, and we get a whistle as Winters.
Oh, gosh.
It's a delay of game. We've got Emily Stone down on the sidelines. We get ready for this kick.
Hey guys, so we just saw Chandler make a spectacular play that did fall short, but you just see his confidence level going up as the game continues to go. Like we said earlier, he received an offer from USC last night, so you can see him really building and really playing aggressively as he heads into the playoffs.
Thank you, Emily. It's certainly good to see that from him as Winters gets set to try to get another field goal for the Scots. So opportunity to score, couldn't quite deliver. Winters will kick it. And once again, the kick is good. Thought he might have missed it at first.
I thought so too. I thought that one might have been wide to the left, and but it just squeezed it through. So that's a big kick for the Scots.
So Winters with 2 straight field goals. Let's see that kick there. Woo.
Yeah, it kind of got through that left side over there. So good kick. Hey, that puts you up 17. You're 3 scores up right now, and that's a huge kick right there for the Scots. And again, you needed points on that series. Hey, give the Wolverines some credit there, Will. They're looking at a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, and they turned the Scots away on 3 plays and forced them with a pretty lengthy field goal attempt to tally that score. So again, great job by the Wolverines and a great job by the Scott offense to take what the defense is giving you and move the ball methodically down the field.
Well, they had opportunities. They were marching down the field, had the fumble. And then right there, once again, they were marching down the field and just couldn't quite take advantage of it. So you want to see them be able to finish these drives, but to see Winters get in there and get 3 for them on the board, that's huge. And they're up 17. So Wakeland's going to have to try something. They've shown that they're willing to do it. But this is an important drive for this Wakeland offense to see if they can get something going. It'll be another high kick for the Scots.
Boy, I love it. I mean, if you kick it out of the end zone, it comes to the 25. That's a 23-yard line and no return. I love it. I hope somebody out there is listening to me on the kick cover team, because I'm going to see that the rest of the playoffs. Wesley does a good job of putting it up in the air, and the guys do a great job of covering it because it gives them a lot of time to get down there and get right in somebody's face. So good job by the Scots there to get the good coverage. And now let's see if the defense can do it again.
When you see the detail that the Scots have on those special teams, Coach Thrasher, he knows exactly what he wants to see. And he makes it work for their strengths as this Wakeland offense gets set. They will hand it off. And not much there.
Boy,
for Charlie Burkhart.
Houston Hummel with a great job sliding off a block and making a play there. That's a big-time play. Watch him slide off the block, do a good job of moving his feet, keeping his motor running, and making a nice tackle there on a play that really looked like a play that could have gone somewhere. And again, first down is key for the Wolverines. If they get a nice gain on first down, that sets up their whole offensive scheme.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Wakeland Wolverines. They bring in that formation they've been using a lot tonight with the H-back and tight end. You don't see it very often. Do a quick pass, but the receiver falls down. It's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up another long 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a good job. Again, the Scots get them behind the sticks here, and that's what you want to do, and you get put a little pressure on the quarterback to make a throw. And again, he's only been a starter about halfway through the season, and so little inexperience comes in, and it could really help the Scots. I know he's a senior, but again, starting his first playoff game, obviously.
So there's a 3rd and long, which is exactly where the Scots want this Wakeland offense to be. The quick play action.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's got a guy right there. Looks like Peyton Lewis again, who's having a great game. We'll see if he got the first down. I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did too. I think that's a spot over there about the 35, which is exactly what he needed to get. So, again, a nice throw. A lot of pressure. Coach Melton brought a little heat that time. And give Label a little credit. He hung in there tough and threw a strike. So, lived a new series of downs for the Wolverines. And I'm sure they feel like they're still in this thing if they go get a score right now.
Peyton Lewis having a really good game at receiver. So it brings up another first down. And there's Peyton Lewis again. He'll get them some yards on first down. I think he's going to get him another first down. He clearly does. Gets over it. So the Wolverines have found Peyton Lewis in this game when they need it, but it looks like he might have got a little hurt on the sideline as the Scots respectfully take a knee for him. We hope that he's okay. You hate to see that. He's having a great game tonight.
Yeah, he really has been a great target for Label, and it looks like he's getting a little treatment down there. Scott's training staff over there too. Nice. You got to get off that block. On the corners, you got to fight through that block. Ford Frazier, good job of blocking that time on the outside by the Wolverines, and had to get off that block and get some help from your safety, and just a little slow getting there. So the Scots give up a first down. That's 2 in a row. And the Wolverines have kind of answered that Scott field goal with 2 good first downs to get out from the shadow of their own goal line.
This is an important drive for this Wakeland offense. They need to get some points here to attempt to make this a 10-point game. Let's see how many passing yards that Wakeland has tonight. They're able to get some first downs. Looks like they just have 85 passing yards, but they're getting them when they need them and getting these first downs.
Yeah, that was a big play, a 3rd and about 8, and they were able to convert. Still had a little play action movement there. So, again, the Scots got to get them behind the sticks and put a little pressure. I'm kind of expecting to see if Coach Melton's had a little more success bringing a little pressure, especially even on rundowns like that, to get them maybe a 2nd and 12, something like that, to really help the defense out.
And we saw John Beatrill on that blitz earlier, so if the Scots are able to not give them any yards on first down, we've seen that plays a really big role. So Wakeland comes out, and they love this formation tonight, or these little variations, and it's not easy to defend. Oh, and it's tipped. It's going to be incomplete.
Now Cole Philly out there defending that time, and again, just caught a little break then with the drop, but it looked like all running stretch to the sideline, near sideline, and then throwing to the wide side of the field with single coverage. So again, a good strategy there, good play call that time. Just couldn't quite come to grab it and be able to do something with it.
Cole Philly, the 6'2" corner, the senior, the tallest DB the Scots have, and really good in press coverage. You see a handoff for a modest gain on 2nd down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, good play by Washburn getting off that block and making a play. He's done a great job there at the nose guard. Watch him slide around, get over the top, make a nice play. Again, now Scott's got him in another 3rd and long, 3rd and about 8 it looks like. And again, big play time. See if Coach Melton wants to heat it up a little bit.
The 3rd and 8, a huge play for the Wolverines offense. throw it quickly, and he will not get the first down. He will be tackled short by Cole Philly again, I think.
I think it was, and again, big decision time here, and I fully expect the Wolverines to go for this, 4th and about 4. They're in a dogfight here, 2.5 minutes to go in the third, and they're down 17, and man, this may be your best opportunity here in this third quarter to try to get some points. So the offense stays on the field, so big play time for Scots. They faced a lot of 4th downs last week and the week before that, so they've been having to play not only 3rd down defense but 4th down defense last couple of weeks.
See what Coach Melton calls on this crucial 4th and 4. They will hand it off, and it looks like he will sneak through and get the first down. Another conversion when they need it from this Wolverines offense.
Yeah, I want to say they kind of caught him off guard because, again, the Scots were maybe expecting a little play action pass and handed it to Burkhardt, and he got a nice run and nice push in the offensive front and a big first down there on 4th down. Again, the Wolverines aren't going to go away.
This is what they want to do. They do need to get some points here.
They need to get points. That's the thing. They need to finish these drives with touchdowns. They're not going to beat the Scots with field goals.
They bring out the same personnel package on 1st down. Just under 2 minutes in the third quarter. And that's a good physical catch by number 17, maybe Trevor Perks.
Yeah, that was a nice catch. And again, that ball was drilled in there. Good job by Label to throw it in there and throw it hard and right in the hands. And that was kind of caught out in self-defense. It looked as much as anything. That ball might have gone right through him. Again, a good first down play, 2nd and 5. And the Wolverines are in a nice drive here. They need to finish this off here as time really running out here in the third quarter. So, I mean, their time is precious. Who knows how many more possessions they're going to get.
Label hands it off for another good gain for Charlie Burkhardt, who's having a great game. And these guys are driving down the field, but at the same time, the time is continuing to tick off the clock. So it's an interesting thing. They're successful at their strategy, but they need as many possessions as they can get when they're down 17 with about 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. So they need some points. They're moving that way, but that time continues to tick off the clock.
Yeah, they really do. They better watch their clock here. But, boy, Maxwell Warren and Burkhardt have had some collisions down in that secondary for the Scots. So see what happens here. Little chip and go.
And it looks like it's picked off.
I think it is.
By the Scots.
And it
they
is.
Forced it in, but the Scots pick it off. A huge turnover like we were talking about.
Yeah, Maxwell Warren right there. It looked like a little wheel route. And Maxwell, well, let's watch him over there. He's playing that top safety there. See, he kind of goes out and runs a wheel route, turns around. Great hands right there to come up with the ball. That's a huge, huge turnover right there for the Scots.
His second one on the year. We're going to toss it down to Miles on the sideline.
Guys, great job by Highland Park right there, able to get another one in the turnover bucket. I'm standing down here right now with Whit Winfield, another one of Highland Park's graduates who had 2 interceptions in that state championship game. And he was just telling me how impressed he is with these young defensive backs. So good to see some familiar faces down here on the sideline.
Thank you, Miles. Moving around on crutches down there on this first down play to Kay Savage. He's not letting those crutches get in the way.
Yeah, that was a nice play again, and got Whit on there. That's my neighbor, so I'm glad to see him back in town. So again, the Scots, boy, if they get something going right now in this drive, this would be huge and kind of put this game on ice.
See, the Scots offense can get it there. That was a huge turnover for the Scots. We were talking about it. They were going to try to force one in this half, and that really is a big play, especially with them going down and threatening to score. Maxwell Warren's second interception on the year came at a really good time.
Yeah, it really did, and that's there's that sprint draw that you. Oh, look!
Oh,
at that
what a block! Oh my gosh. That was a huge block. That looked like Jack Lair got out there on that sprint draw. That was he smashed him.
That's what you do when you're 6'8" and 280. When you come up against the outside linebacker, you just steamroll him. I'm sure
we've got to see this one again.
I'm sure that'll be. Watch the big guy pull in there. And hello there. Oh, Josh Stearns got an introduction to Jack Lear pretty well, and just kind of steamroll. That'll be one that'll be talked about in films tomorrow. That'll be one that'll get him a sticker on his helmet. That's definitely a a great job of blocking.
As we get to end the third quarter with that block, we'll send it to this quick commercial, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know. I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never.
20-3, the Scots. We ended it on a huge block from Jack Larry. You saw him pull around, show speed, and then that strength of the 6'8", 280 left tackle as Morris completes a pass to Case Savage.
I think it was Paxton.
Oh, Paxton Anderson, rather. The outside receiver for the Scots. So getting a lot of different receivers involved tonight.
Yeah, they really are. Everybody's getting a touch, and that's good for Chandler to spread that ball around. You can't really cover one guy. That time when they sprint out, it's hard for them to double cover these outside receivers on a sprint out play. So that's a great adjustment there by Coach Allen to go more to sprint out, get Chandler moving around. Nobody we've had throws the ball better on the run than Chandler Morris. I can promise you that.
You're certainly seeing that tonight as Morris will pitch it. And a physical run by Will Anderson as he gets close to that first down marker.
Another great downfield block. That was Sam Morris this time on the sidelines, clearing the way. I love these big guys getting downfield. Look at him blocking. He's 15 yards down the field and blocking the guy to the bench. So a good job. And then telling you about it. That's the old spy for Chandler Morris. So he's doing his quarterback buddy a little service right there. So another great job up front. Scott's offensive line kind of taking over this game, Will.
That's the story of this half so far, certainly. And Sam Morris, Jack Lair, both juniors for the Scots. And that's scary.
That is scary, and they're only going to get better.
Morris throws it deep. He has a man. It is caught. Let's see if he gets in the end zone. And he does. That is Drew Scott. An unbelievable play from Morris to Scott. That will give the Scots a huge touchdown.
Finally got a little one-on-one coverage that time, and boy, had a great chance. Safety comes off on the post route over the middle, and a little post route on the outside. That's the old C double post right there, and that's a tough play and a great throw. Boy, what a great throw. On stride, right over the top of the defender, and Drew, of course, put a nice little squeeze on it and rolls into the end zone. Big play for the Scots that time.
Made him pay for going against double coverage.
Yeah, that really was, and that's why you double coverage Drew Scott. I mean, you don't want to give him a chance, and it was a nice deal. They tried to put a little pressure, and that post route, the inside receiver running that little skinny post drew that safety and allowed that one-on-one coverage, and Drew was able to work himself free. So another great throw by Chandler Morris on that. You saw that strength of that arm right there too as he let that one rip.
A great drive for the Scots offense. And one of the things that we're seeing tonight as we look at this throw again, let's check this out. Morris even took a hit there.
It kind of looked like he short-armed it too and still threw it about 50 yards.
And that's a tough throw. You really have to throw that well.
Yeah.
Because that he's close.
Yeah, you big, strong guy like that, you can't get him to the ground until he rolls into the end zone. And a big answer by the Scots. And again, it goes back to Maxwell Warren's big pick, and the Scots were able to make the Wolverines pay for it. Now you kind of feel like there's a little air out of the tires over there on the other side. They're a little bit degashed here, as that was a big answer by the Scott offense after the defense turned them away.
That really is. That was a devastating blow. Potentially a 14-point swing, and Drew Scott with 3 receptions, 82 yards. His average after that one is 27.3 on the day. Last week, 144 yards and a touchdown. So he's just having a phenomenal game so far. And if you don't double cover him, he shows what he can do.
Yeah, he's tough, and you can't blame him for doubling both he and Paxton Anderson on the outside. And we've looked downfield a couple of times and seen two white shirts right there with them. So that's why these inside guys are having good games, and you finally catch them in single coverage, and you got to take advantage of it. So good job. Give a little credit to Coach Allen making that play call and getting that double post working so well for the Scott offense.
That will bring the Wolverines back out. And it's kind of crazy to think that they only have 3 points. It feels like they've been moving the ball and having opportunities, but just haven't been able to capitalize. We have an open run, and he has some room, makes a cut. He's going to get to the outside, and a huge run there for the Wolverines to start that drive. That's going to put them in a really good position to try to get on the board again.
Yep, Chance Delashaw, who's down as a tight end, running the ball like that, and looks like there's an injury back downfield, but that's a big play. They needed that big answer. That's by far their biggest play of the night, and good job by I thought Tanner Schrank to kind of slow play that a little bit and let the cavalry catch up, and he was able to get them to the ground. And that's all you try to do is get them to the ground and make them snap it again. You don't want to quit on a play just because they break it into the open field. But again, a nice play, nice answer by the Wolverines, and let's see if they can get something going and stay in touch of this game.
So first down on the 20-yard line. They've been able to move the ball. They just haven't been able to finish these drives. The Scots have played all the way through these drives, so we'll see what happens. As we have a play action, he will throw it. That's a complete pass. It's a pretty nice gain for the Wolverines on first down. So again, they're moving the ball. The question is, can they finish a drive, and can they do it quickly?
Yeah, they really have moved it between the 20s, and but right now field goals won't do them any good. They need a touchdown, and they need it pretty quick. And then we've seen them do an onside kick execution perfectly, so they can get double possessions here if they can somehow get this in the end zone. A little holding penalty coming up.
Label will just throw it out of the way.
He's trying to throw it to Miles down there. Miles wasn't ready to catch it, looked like. But, yeah, that was good pressure there by the Scots. And, again, if you get Label on the move a little bit, I don't think he's near as effective as allowing him to sit back there in the pocket and throw it.
That is a holding call. And I have no doubt that Miles would have tossed those crutches down to get that ball.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
So Scots get a little help on that holding call. It'll move the ball back. It'll bring up a second down. So Wakeland is now behind the chains, and with only 9:28 remaining in this fourth quarter, 27-3 Scots. They need to take an end zone shot or get it in there very quickly if they want to make this a game. But the Scots defense, they're so hard to finally score against. They're going to throw it to the end zone, but that will be incomplete as you see Ford Frazier on the coverage on the outside at corner.
Yeah, that's a good job by Ford. Again, stacking that receiver pretty well and not letting him come inside and almost forcing that vertical route, which is what you want to do. Watch him flip those hips and push that receiver to the sideline. That has to be a perfect throw for it to be completed. So good job, good technique.
Good coverage there from Ford Frazier, the junior, this younger secondary. They've got some really young guys and showing what they can do. Ford has 7 pass breakups on the season. He leads the team as we have a crucial 3rd and 14. As Label will roll out left and will throw it over the head of his intended receiver. Multiple Scots there. That's going to bring up a 4th down. So the Scots looking like they're going to hold again. But Wakeland will have to convert this if they want to have a chance here.
Yeah, I was just trying to do some quick math, and it really doesn't do you any good to kick a field goal here. They've got an excellent kicker. He's been one of their best players out there. Young man headed off to Utah. So I think you got to go for it. You're right. And you got to do something where your quarterback can just stand in the pocket and make a good hard throw. Maybe a deep dig route or something like that where he can really set his feet and throw it. So wouldn't be surprised if Coach Melton doesn't heat this up a little bit on 4th and 14.
Get Dorba rushing from the outside, and he gets there. And multiple Scots do. Melton threw a little something different out there on that one.
And they did that with 4 rushers, so that was pretty good job right there up front for the Scot. And again, just a good turn away right there. First down on the 20-yard line with the game kind of in the balance there, and the Scot defense turns them away again.
A great play by Dorba. He shifted positions a little bit, rushing off the edge, and then you see Jack Curtis helping out too. So a ton of pressure, which Coach Melton loves to do on those critical downs. So that's going to give the Scots offense the ball back with 9:12 remaining. So the Scots are able to get pressure when it matters the most, and that's a very encouraging sign round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, it really is. And again, great job by that defense, turning them away. And and giving the offense a chance to use up the clock a little bit and go down and get another score.
Will Anderson takes the ball on first down. His helmet pops off there.
May have to leave a little bit. We'll see Doak come in.
Doak Walker comes in the game. 4 touchdowns on the year for Doak Walker, this senior running back. And it looks like number 19, the sophomore John Rutledge, checks in. And we got to see with our own eyes his first touchdown reception. He showed a ton of speed. He's one of the fastest receivers there in the slot. 5 wide. That will be a complete pass once again for the Scots to Drew Scott. That's going to get him a first down. Played a little soft there on him, and he's going to cash in on that.
Well, Will, it looks like, I'm just checking the score here. It looks like Magnolia has defeated Poteet 34-14, and Magnolia High School will be the Scots' next opponent if they're able to keep this lead here tonight.
The 5 wide again. Morris will draw back. He's got a man open again. Drew Scott open again. He had 2 guys trying to get to him that time, and it didn't matter.
No, they doubled him that time, and again, it's when he's taking double coverage, there's an open player in the flat over here to the left, but they were double covering. Drew had one underneath and one on the top, and Chandler still threw a perfect ball to him, and another big play there by the big wide receiver.
Chandler Morris is locked in tonight. We'll have to check his completion percentage in a second. It's got to be really good. Maybe he's above 70 now. He's at 76% completion percentage. That is what you want to see round 1 of the playoffs from your quarterback. Looking really good. 5 wide again. And he will complete a pass to Case Savage. And Case will make a man miss. He'll get in.
That's a great run.
That's a touchdown. What a move.
That's a great run. They've had that guy open in the flat the last couple of times, and Chandler finally saw it. Again, going through his progression. 5 wide. He's going to look left, look right, and then he sees a wide open Case Savage, makes a nice move, missed tackle right there, nice little spin, and Case waltz into the end zone. That's a big possession. That's basically the old nail in the coffin right there. If you're a Wakeland fan, you can start warming up the bus on this chilly night.
That might be the knockout punch there. We get set to see another extra point. A great drive once again. Oh, looks like Ben Smith will take it. He'll throw it into the end zone, and he did not get it. That was interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looked like I couldn't tell if the snap was low or what, but they kind of did an early panic right there, and there wasn't a lot of pressure. But let's see. You're yelling fire, 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 and you've got to make your outside guys respond, and you scoop it up and go and try to make a play. But that's probably been the worst part of the Scots game tonight, is they're kicking extra points here. So they've now missed 2 of them and have a 33-3 lead, and that's a pretty good thing when that's the worst thing you need to work on when you're scoring touchdowns. So, but you better believe they'll clean that up, because you get to a game those PATs are going to be huge.
They will certainly look to clean that up, and one of the things they can see, because one of the things that you can really see from the Scots offense tonight, and we just saw it again, they went 5 wide a lot on that one, and one of the signs of great teams is they can basically do multiple things, kind of whatever they want, to move the ball down the field. They can go H-back, they can go 5 wide, they can run it, they can go 2-back, they can throw it to multiple receivers, different types of coverages. This Scots offense can do a lot of different things, and that's a huge advantage when you play these different defenses, especially as the playoffs go on.
Yeah, and really, when you go 5 wide, you don't have Hunter Heath in the game, and Hunter's been banged up, so we won't see him again, I'm sure. And that 5 wide, you got another receiver in. So having Hunter out there is like having another receiver anyway. So you can do it from a slot, or you can do it from a running back spot. So yeah, it just gives you a completely different look. And for a team running that umbrella 4 coverage, 5 wide's hard. I mean, that's something that you're going to have to account for. You always worry about the vertical routes, and we got 4 guard and 5. That's going to be a tough deal. So that's a good. That's a great response by the Scott offense there to just go down there. And again, Drew Scott's had a great second half, hadn't he? I don't think he had a reception in the first half, and he's come roaring back with 5 receptions for 126 yards, at 25.2 per catch. That's impressive.
He's dominating this game. Get a quick throw. I thought we almost had a pick there again.
I think it's Gus Vinson thought he had that one, and he was thinking end zone dance right there. He had a little tip of it, but it got by him here.
See this replay here, how close he got.
Oof. That's a good catch, too, on the other end of it. If he didn't tip that, it's going to be a completion. It sure was. So
good to see Gus Vinson, the baseball player, get in the game. Good catch. That brings up a second down. They'll hand it off. Not much there at all as multiple Scots get in on the tackle.
Yeah, good job up front. You know, really for the most part, they have that one long run that last series, but the Scots have done a great job against the run and have really forced the hand. If you told me coming in this game they're going to hold Wakeland 3 points, I would have been very, very surprised because, again, their offense was very prolific coming into this game, averaging 36 points per game, and they've really done a great job of kind of stuffing their offense completely.
Now it's 3rd and 5 for Wakeland. His label will pass. He has him in again. They will get the first down. So he is able to deliver some strikes on 3rd down.
Yeah, and Coach Melton brought the house that time too. He brought everybody, and that left a little single coverage there, safeties on the slots, and he was able to get the ball off, and usually that's a good matchup if you're able to get the pass away. So, again, you got Wakeland, who likes to play action and run the ball in a situation where they got to throw every down.
First down for Wakeland as Label drops back. He will throw it. Nobody there. Incomplete pass for Label.
Yeah, Landwehr on that blitz, and it looks like Coach has decided to heat them up a little bit. And again, you got them one-dimensional now. You got them having to throw the ball, so you can pretty well pin those ears back and come get those quarterbacks, and they are really putting a lot of pressure on them up front.
Landwehr, the junior, having a phenomenal season at linebacker. Also a lacrosse player, I believe, so he's a multi-sport athlete, and he's got a very bright future for the Scots football team, having a great season. 39 total tackles. That's one of the Scots' top tacklers this season. Label will draw back under pressure. He will get sacked by Patrick Turner, PTN on the sack again.
Yeah, great job. Again, it seemed like we went 3.5 quarters without any blitzing from Coach Melton, kind of playing a little cover, respecting that run. And when the Scots tacked on that last touchdown, he, just like everybody else in the stadium, knows that the Wolverines got to throw the ball. So if they're going to throw it, he's going to bring some IBs up the gut. And, boy, that's exactly what he did with Patrick Turner, who, besides brings his 240-pound load, he can really move, too, and brings a little punch with it, too. So big time series right here for the Scots.
He's a great Mike linebacker for the Scots, and they get multiple linebackers involved. I'm so impressed by the depth for the linebackers. You look at these guys, you've got John Beetrell, Cal Hershey, Patrick Turner, Andrew Bonnet. Gus Vincent gets in, makes a nice play. Dylan Ham's having a great season. Marshall Landwehr, the junior, we just talked about him. Hayden Kleiss, a great linebacker as well, and he's a kicker and one of the Scots' most reliable special teams players. You see him on every punt or kickoff. He's one of the first guys down there, really good in coverage. So this is a deep linebacker core, really well coached by Carter Bean and Chase Davis.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'll take it a level backwards too, and I'll tell you, I think the secondary has really grown up, and from the first month of the season, I'll be honest with you, they looked lost, and they were, the bright lights of Friday night was really testing their determination. And you look at this, and there's not been one, probably jinxes now in the last 6 minutes here, but there's not been one big play in the passing game. And, you look at a couple of things, even last week and the week before last, there are a couple of, throw it up athlete plays, but they've really played well. They played solid. They've done their technique, and they've really kind of grown up, I think. So it's time, and they're young. So it's time to watch these guys in their own little playoff run themselves.
It's so big for them to get that interception, just to get that confidence in the playoffs. If this Scots defense can force turnovers on defense and protect the ball on offense, it is going to be so difficult to beat them.
Well, yeah, and Maxwell coming out with that catch. He's the senior starter out there with those 4 or 3 other juniors, and Cole Philly plays a little bit as a senior, but Tanner Schrank and Ford Frazier and Walker Cobb are juniors. They're seeing this action for the first time, and really all three of those guys are in their first playoff game. So it's really good to see them grow up and see them, not be, the moment's not too big for them. They can really respond.
That brings up a third down. Looks like 24 for the Wakeland offense. They've had a few of these tonight.
They really have. They're not equipped for that either.
They'll just do a quick pass to the outside. Does not get much. That will bring up a fourth down. And if they want to continue to give it a shot, they're going to have to go for it here. You have to admire the way that especially Dylan Label just continues to play hard and lead this team. And they continue to try to get drives going. Looks like they are going to bring out the punting unit in this situation, down 33-3 with 5.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you really do. I mean, they had a great game plan coming in here, Will. I thought, is something we had seen before. Force the Scots to be patient, take away the big play as best you can, and the Scots were able to finagle. Oop, that's probably a running into the kicker, I think. Or if that's a personal foul roughing the kicker, they're going to bring their offense back out here. But it may just be running into, which they might just refuse the penalty and. Let's see what they call here. Roughing. Yep, first down.
Wow.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on our broadcast, but special teams the whole team sits in there on Saturday morning for special teams. And when something like that happens, it's usually mentioned a couple of times that was not a very smart play. And those culprits are usually reminded often in a very kind and gentle way that was not a very smart play for you when you're up 33-3 to go and rough the kicker. Put pressure, fine, whatever you want to do, but don't rough the kicker. So here we go, we're back on the field.
Back on the field. I would imagine they'll hear about that one tomorrow morning during film as we have a completed pass for the Wolverines. And Scott's special teams, they've had some really good things happen tonight. But a few things you can work on. That's not a bad thing in the first round to have some things to continue to try to tweak and get better on throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, it's probably the coach in me. All I can think about is all the bad things that happened on the kicking game. The onside kick we didn't get and the missed field goal or PATs and roughing the kicker. Those are those are not good. Oh, nice catch.
Oh, and a big hit from the Scots. Thought he had the catch. Let's see who that was on that hit. See if we can get a number on this hit and that coverage. Thought he had it complete. It looks like number 96.
That's George Wright, according to our roster. That's great. That's Christian Wright's brother there, George, and a young sophomore making a nice big hit.
That's right. He got called up, I think, for the Lancaster game, if I remember correctly, for special teams.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of DBs wearing 96, so that's usually a
Oh, and a great catch.
Well, I knew I was going to curse him when I did that. Gave him a chance. That's Christian Wright over on that side. A little post route, and again, that's a play you give up in the passing game, and it makes that roughing the kicker look a little bit bigger.
Could have been a 7-point penalty. We'll see if it is.
We'll see what happens here. Again, the Scott defense, they got a lot of twos out there to see if they can turn them away, have a chance to hold them out of the end zone for a nice little playoff week one thing to remember here.
Wolverines will hand it off for not much at all. Good to see George Wright get in the game. Christian's younger brother. He did get called up a little bit ago. I had to look a few times when I saw number 96 in the secondary.
Could that have been a D lineman down the field like that? But no, he's done a good job, and they speak very highly of him. They're very complimentary of what he's going to be able to contribute in his Scotty career.
Good goal line test for the Scots defense on second down. They will hand it off. And many Scots get in a huge tackle on Charlie Burkhart.
Yeah, Landwehr, I think, was on there, as was Wright again. And a good job to hold him out of the end zone. I thought he was going to score that time. Big hit. Landwehr with a nice tackle. And it looks like Beetrell coming on there to finish it off, too. So good job by the Scots. I thought he might have coughed it up, too.
It looked like he was bobbling it a little bit there.
Good job. Third down now. Let's see if the Scots can stand up. I know the game is not in doubt here, but this is a real pride check right now. It looks like they got a couple of starters back in there on the D-line, so Coach Melton wants to keep them out.
Third down. They will throw it to the end zone, and it is caught. That will be a touchdown for the Wolverines. They finally get that touchdown. A goal line stand opportunity for the Scots. Just couldn't quite get it done. So Wakeland gets that elusive touchdown to make it 33-9 with just under 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, that was a nice drive, but the Scots again kind of contributed that one. So that's a tough break. But you can't do that in the playoffs. This game had been tight, and you make that mistake, you're about to get the ball back with a chance to go win or score or put a team away, and you make a mistake like that, and that can be very costly. So learn from that in week one with a 30-point lead, and that'll be well served, that's for sure.
Well, when I talked to Coach Weber a few weeks ago, the quarterback's coach, who obviously does a phenomenal job with the quarterbacks, one of the things he was talking about.
He's got a good-looking hat on, too.
Yeah, look at that hat. You can really see him, that's for sure. That neon hat, no question who that is. But he was talking about how as they continued to get ready for this playoff run, that the little details are the difference between winning big playoff games. And while the Scots are up 33-10, you know that this coaching staff tomorrow is going to be pointing out some of those little things. The details have contributed to some really good drives for the Scots, but there have also been a few things that when you're playing teams like Lone Star, you're going to want to get those details right.
Yeah, you got to clean it up. You got to clean up the mistakes, and that's definitely something you got to work on. I'll tell you right now, this is some live bullets right here on this kickoff. We've seen them execute a perfect onside kick. Now the Scots have their hands team out here. Again, these are the kind of things you can't really simulate well in practice. You don't want guys running over each other, but this is a great attempt for the Scots to. That hit some Scotty in the foot early.
Looks like that will bounce out of bounds.
I think that hit Patrick Turner in the foot and knocked it out of bounds. So that's probably a break for the Scots. That could have been, who knows what could have happened, but a nice little kick out of bounds. I don't think you're illegal touchy. You can't touch it before 10 yards. Either team can't. So the Scots will get the ball, but I think they'll get a penalty unless they give them a chance to re-kick this. So
officials are talking about it right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a re-kick situation. If it is, the Wolverines are going to take advantage of this.
We'll see if we get a call on this play. It looks like the Scots are just going to get a first down where it is. That's one way to not worry about an onside kick.
Good. You just kick it out of bounds. It looked clean. A little soccer game breaks out. Braden Shager in the game. Get a little time here.
The junior quarterback will hand it off, and we've talked a lot about him on these broadcasts. He is a great junior quarterback, has an amazing attitude, very talented, can execute the entire offense. Coach Weber made that very clear that they feel like they can put him in the game, and he can execute the normal offense, all the same plays that Chandler Morris does. So he's having a great season, has a very bright future, and really could be starting at a lot of places this year.
Yeah, he really could. And I agree with all you just said. And this is kind of the time when Scots just need a couple of first downs here and run this one out, and maybe just one first down. Depends on how Wakeland wants to call it. And got the two-back look, and here comes Doak with the carry here. And again, the clock will run, and Wakeland's got one more timeout left. So let's see if they use it or just let this one go. They got their touchdown. I think that was a real emotional lift for them. They were jumping up and down and pretty excited about scoring. So Scott defense, that's kind of where you are in the situation right now, where Scots are way ahead and have really put this one to bed.
You see Will Pettijohn now in the game for the Scots at the Z receiver position. John Rutledge back in, and Crockett Corwin, number 44, in at X receiver. He can play multiple receivers. He can play inside. He can play outside. So some really good young receivers in for the Scots right now. Shager rolls out left, and he will throw it. Just misses Crockett Corwin on the left side. So great to see these young receivers getting. The Scots have a lot of young talent in that junior class. And, of course, John Rutledge, the sophomore. And they're pretty balanced. They've got speed. They've got size. There's a lot of things they're going to be able to do with these junior receivers. And then John Rutledge, the sophomore. So a lot of depth for the Scots at that position as we get ready for a punt.
Yeah, that's I would never, ever question a call of Coach Allen, but that I kind of wondered. He just given Shager a chance to throw the ball, and I think that was kind of a cool chance to give him a chance to make a completion, but certainly need to keep the clock running.
Hayden Kleiss will punt it.
Save it.
As it goes into the end zone, thought they might have gotten it right before.
Going to have to explain the rules to George Wright.
And Miles is on the sideline. He's got something for us.
Hey, guys, always a team effort here at Highland Park, and the Scots are always willing to evolve as well. And the last time they were on offense and throughout this game and the last game, you see those big banners going up over the Scots signal callers and taking something they're kind of taking from the college ranks, but asking some JV guys and maybe some seniors to hold up those banners and help the team in another way.
Thank you, Miles. Miles doing a great job at sideline reporter tonight, showing that he can do multiple things.
Yeah, on one leg, too. I mean, that's incredible that he's so mobile.
We certainly miss having him. He will be back next week as the Scots look like they're going to close this one out. So it's been fun getting to fill in tonight. Always fun to be with you and enjoy the opportunity. But hopefully he'll feel ready to go next week to call round 2.
Well, don't be a stranger, that's for sure. But, yeah, we had a good game here tonight, you know, and I think that's pretty nice to see. Again, the Scott defense really doing a good job. You know, you say you have the number 2 defensive line in there, and there are guys in there that play a lot of quality minutes. So it's hard to say you got 2s when the way Coach Leidner rolls those guys in there, getting a lot of experience.
Scott's getting some other guys in. There's some confusion on the handoff. And we got Miles again on the sideline for us.
Hey, guys, so just wanted to mention you guys were talking about next week. It will be next Thursday, Magnolia West at AT&T Stadium at 7 o'clock. So Highland Park officially moving on to round 2. By the way, extending their state championship record of most by-district round championships.
Thank you, Miles. So next Thursday night at AT&T Stadium, so they're getting over there early, it sounds like, as they're going to continue this march as time will run out. As you can see it, we have 3 zeros on the scoreboard. So the Scots will win the first round of the playoffs 33-10 over the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines, and their march towards a 4th consecutive state championship, which is just unprecedented, continues for another round.
Really hit 19 straight playoff wins. That's incredible to think about. And, you know, there's some pretty lofty company when you start talking about trying to get this real 4-peat. But, you know, just quickly, Will, on playing Thursday night is great if you win, because then you got Friday night off. Your coaches go and scout. I mean, all over you'll get a chance week, so you really got to be ready to get to work. It'll be a tough weekend for the Scots coaches. I mean, they're going to get film watch. They're going to put this game to bed tomorrow, and then they'll get to work on Magnolia, and they'll have a good game plan when those kids show up on Monday morning for meetings, and they'll be set with a great plan. So neat to play at AT&T at 7 o'clock. I assume we're the only game in town, so that might be kind of nice, and hope we have a big turnout out there, and really it'll be a fun game, and the Scots continue their roll.
It's fun to get out there early in the playoffs to AT&T Stadium, and like you mentioned, it's interesting that it's a Thursday night game. Certainly changes your preparations a little bit. I'm sure this Highland Park coaching staff has that figured out. I'm sure they have a strategy to adapt to these games, whether they're Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And speaking of which, we're about to hear from Coach Allen, who just continues to win and tries to lead this team to another state championship, but they do that one game at a time. So I think Emily is down with Coach Allen right now. So we'll get to hear from him.
Congratulations on your first playoff victory of 2019. Tell us what the demeanor was like on the field over here when Wakeland took an early lead.
Well, you're always a little nervous in a playoff game, and I've been beaten twice in 21 years in the first round, so it's not any fun, and you know, you're just frustrated because you want to get ahead. And I told Coach Secord he had his team ready to play, and they played extremely hard. They were very physical running the football, and they ran the clock on us and played great field position. And so I thought he did all he could do with his talent tonight.
Coach, your defense was firing on all cylinders. Do you think your team is peaking at the right time this season?
Yes, I think we are. I think we're getting better each week, and I was really proud how they played tonight. We got an interception, and we got some sacks and some lost yardage plays, tackles for losses. We've been doing a great job on third downs, and I'm really proud of the progression that we've made on defense.
It looked like second quarter is when you guys kind of really started to get in sync and get going, and maybe the defense was kind of the catalyst for that. What did you think of the defense tonight?
No, I think our defense is great. I think we do a great job of pressuring the quarterback. We do a good job of I think we do a great job of stopping the run, and third downs is really where we've been fantastic. We've really kept people from making a lot of third downs. The other thing is we've had tackles for loss and we've had sacks, and that's a big part of it. I think we had one turnover tonight. I know we had a pass interception. I'm not sure if we had another one.
Coach Allen, on to week 2. Can you tell us anything about Mesquite Poteet and Magnolia, who are playing tonight?
Well, do you know the score?
Magnolia won.
Magnolia did. We're going to play at AT&T Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So we just have to figure out who's home and visitors and trade film, and we'll be ready to go.
Coach, you had a lot of alumni players out in the stands today, and you had a lot of old players watching the game. How does it feel to have the support from former Scots during the playoffs?
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, a lot of guys were home, I guess, for a break or something, at home for a weekend, and once a Scot, always a Scot, and we hope to keep that thing going to where they always feel they're a part of this program. Those guys that won state championships want us to keep going and keep the string going, so I'm really proud they came back.
Coach Allen, with a Thursday game, will the routine be different? Will we start a day earlier this week or cut a day out? Or tell us how you'll prepare differently.
Well, we'll have to cut a day out for sure. But we'll just, we'll go 3 days of prep instead of 4. And so anyway, it'll be good to play a Thursday night game at AT&T. What a great setting for a game, and I think our fans will really enjoy it.
Coach Allen, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Jay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, so Randy's looking pretty happy after this win. I'm going to send it back up to y'all.
I was just punching Will up here, and I said, I know what he's talking about losing in first-round games. And when Coach Allen, early arrival, first year, we were 10-0, and they go out and play a Samuel team. And I think it was at Clark Field in Plano. And Samuel's like 7-3, and man, we got beat. I mean, I'm going to say it was like 17-13, and we lost. And then, it was just devastating. Everybody thought, oh my gosh, we're going to go and do great things. And then the next year we go 10-0 again, and we go and we played Greenville, and out there at Mesquite, as I remember, and we lost that game. So, Coach Allen is 20-2. And there are people going, well, I don't know if we got the right guy here or not, and I guess we got the right guy. So anyway, he kind of figured it out along the way. But he's right. There's some crazy stuff that can happen in the playoffs. And, of course, those were years when it wasn't like a 1 playing a 4. It wasn't something like that. So I know what he's talking about. I can remember those days when it was kind of sketchy to go into week 1 and not worry a little bit about it.
The Scots win this one. Let's see some highlights from this game. There's definitely a lot of them in this half.
Yeah, again, this is that little flea flicker to open. This came after the onside kick recovery, and they try to hit it Scots with a big play, and the defense was ready for it. What you don't see in that picture was great coverage downfield, had no options. Look at John Beetrell with a big sack. Again, anytime we got labeled to be back there and try to set up as a drop-back quarterback, he was not as effective as he is on play action. And there's Wesley Winter knocking down a field goal. And, again, get him moving. Look at this interception. This was a huge play. I mean, when you think about it, they're on the move, and the game's still in doubts. The crazy things could happen, and Maxwell Warren comes up with a real nice pick. Here's Chandler Morris throwing deep. Drew Scott on the other end of this. Look at this ball, perfectly thrown on stride. The big guy can ramble, and he muscles his way into the end zone for a big touchdown. That was great to see. Look at him set his feet, get a little pressure in his face. That's what a 4-star quarterback looks like, by the way, guys, and any college coaches out there that want to make an offer. That's a great play. Drew makes a nice catch, and again, there's a little bit of that chippiness that Miles was talking about too. Watch this run right here. Little dipsy-do. I'm going to run past you, and then I'm going to juke you. Little spin move. K. Savage with a nice little run there.
So a great win for the Scots to start the playoffs. And as we get set to turn the page to round 2, Coach, how do they continue to keep these guys focused? It's a marathon if you want to go all the way. So how do they get them to continue to do that, put the same effort and intensity into each week one at a time early on in this run? Well,
You just said it. I mean, you just take it one game at a time. And I sure hope number 38's okay, because we're a different team when 38's on the field. And that's Hunter Heath, of course. Kind of got banged up there at the end, but did leave the field on his own. So hopefully he's going to be okay, and he'll be fine. Otherwise, I think you just take it one step at a time. These guys have been here before. The coaches have been here before. They know how to win a state championship, and they know that you don't think about week 5 or week 6 in the playoffs. Right now you're focused on week 2, and you got to take care of business. Scott's got a chance. They got a quick week, so something's got to be. You got to be prepared for that short week on Thursday.
So some quick stats before we wrap it up and get ready to move on to round 2. Chandler Morris with a great day, 19 of 24. This is an amazing stat, Coach. He almost hit 80% completion rate, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. If Chandler Morris is hitting 80% completion rate, that's going to be tough. Of course, Drew Scott, a huge contributor in that. 5 receptions, 126 yards, average 25 yards a catch. 1 touchdown. K. Savage.
I think all of that, Drew, was in the second half, too. I don't think he had a first half reception, so that's a nice half of work right there.
Especially when they were trying to double those outside guys. K. Savage, 5 receptions, 96 yards. He had a touchdown as well, getting multiple receivers involved. So, Coach, as we move on to round 2, what are your final takeaways from tonight?
Well, again, a nice job. With like Coach Allen said, I thought the defense played great tonight against a really good offensive team who had a great plan coming in. And again, I thought our offense responded well to a really good game plan of, we're going to drop coverage. You're going to have to be patient. We're not going to give up the big play if we can help it. So, again, I think the Scots did exactly what they needed to do against the opposition and responded well to a completely different offensive defensive game plan that they faced the last couple of weeks.
So that will do it. That will do it from here at Highlander Stadium. The Scots win 33-10 over the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines. Get ready for round 2 Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We want to thank all of our friends at Game On Sports for the amazing job that they do. I'm Will Washington alongside David Clark, Emily Stone, and Miles Dunklin on the sideline. We will see you Thursday night, 7 o'clock, AT&T Stadium, as the quest for 4 straight state championships continues. Thanks for tuning in to this broadcast presented by Game On Sports.